Ready to level up your gaming? Then join XFS and play against the pros. Join a Soulcalibur monthly tournament every third Saturday in Xtreme Fighters Showdown. Win and become the next Xtreme Boss. Prize pools start at 50 USD plus Matcherino for every showdown, and you can earn and redeem points for seasonal prizes, such as gift cards for restaurants or Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, or even leverless controllers, a new Stream Deck or gaming chair, and if you're good enough, an all-expense-paid trip to XFS's offline event in 2026, all while competing for top placements in XFS's Soulcalibur Leaderboard. Test your strength in the hardest arena. Season 1, coming October of 2025. Get registered on the Start GG link shown on screen.
Hello and welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 for Xtreme Fighters Showdown Soulcalibur VI online brackets, the monthly where there is a modicum of games, including Soulcalibur VI, which we're doing today. Here with me, I have the co-host, also part of XFS, is Brickman. How are you doing today, man?
I am doing so good, BeanieThuggish, man. I am excited. Like you said, it is week 1 of Soulcalibur for the Xtreme Fighters Showdown League, and I am so excited because not only do we get to see some amazing matches on the stage of history, we get to do it on the 7-year anniversary of this amazing game just as well.
We do get to mention that our souls still burn a whole 7 years later to the day. These competitors are here to test their mettle, gain points on the leaderboard, and celebrate the 7-year anniversary of Soulcalibur VI.
Absolutely. It's an amazing time to be a part of this game. And if you guys are just joining us for the first time, we would like to give you a quick rundown of what we do for this tournament. It's actually going to be point-based. So if you're new here, what happens is, depending on the placement of our players, we have a seasonal system where they earn points for their placement, and you can see right there. The higher you rank, obviously, the more points you get, and as you saw in the promotional video, they can redeem those points at the end of the season for amazing prizes that, I mean, honestly, I would get myself into playing tournaments again if I got some of these prizes, man. Like, you see that Chipotle gift card? It's called my name. But then, of course,
that's enough prizing right there.
That's all I need. I need my Chipotle. But other than that, we get right into it here too. So obviously they're all playing basically for these big prizes at the start here. So I expect nothing but high level Soulcalibur, man. Beanie, are you excited just like I am for this?
I am. I'm very excited to see some of these players, very known returning players that we're used to seeing in some of the other online and offline brackets. Here we have DEUS, Incendiate, one of the strongest players in the United States versus KONMAI, a fellow commentator and still a competitor all these years later.
Oh, I tell you what, if I had nickel for every time Incendiate won a tournament, I'd have more than 2 nickels because he's won a lot of tournaments.
I think you'd have enough for a Taco Bell box minimum. This guy is a big time grinder, wins a lot of tournaments on and offline. One of the most consistent players, a student of the game truly, but KONMAI at least putting up a fight here in his first round, showing him how we do it. That is how you use that West Coast timing to defeat your opponent.
And already, though, Incendiate using the crybaby on the ground, man, that is such a momentum ender. Whenever you get her there, man, it's like, okay, I'm going to press the attack. Wait, what's hitting me? Why am I getting hit? And then Incendiate's just kind of laughing in his chair next to me. He's like, he doesn't know, does he? But now here's KONMAI.
Steal a couple of turns, but right now KONMAI really corralling and controlling, like stopping the movement, not allowing Xianghua and Incendiate to move around too much, to condition for that low weapon art right there. Now doesn't have a weapon, gets himself into the sword stance. I don't know if you guys know this, but whenever Aswell uses a weapon art, he loses a weapon. He no longer has one and has to regain it. KONMAI, smart, using the sword art immediately to get it back, but all of this damage taken because of it. Incendiate is really just laying it on thick, getting that launcher and immediately closing out this round with the CE.
Now, folks, if you don't already know, the sidestep bead from Xianghua, you're going to see that
a lot.
Let's call it a few more times. Yeah, into the CE, no less, too. You're going to see that a couple times because Incendiate, he knows it's a good move. So, you know what? If it's a good move and it works, keep using it. Well, wouldn't you know? There's another one right there.
It's one of the things that in 3D fighters, we like to call a safe launcher. And what that means is generally every 3D fighting game has some number where you can punish people for trying to press. This game, it's generally 10. That move is -8, so if he does it, he can just do it again. It is kind of slow, but it's one of those launchers that's evasive and is safe. So KONMAI's gonna have to really contend with that move heavily here if he wants to be able to fight back. But right now, already put into maybe a potentially losing situation. That was a really good anti-air confirm from Incendiate there, and it might be enough to take it out. Mother, watch over me.
I mean, and it is. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this character finds a way to kill you off of like the most trivial thing that you would think that you're okay with, and then she'll throw it an AA, get you out of the air, and next thing you know, you're on the ground, and time to go to game 2.
Yeah, very powerful nickel and dime character, and that is why we see Incendiate as one of our extreme bosses, which we hadn't mentioned, right? There's 5 extreme bosses, and I believe they're all in the bracket today. It is Tier Gold Yorha, Ryan V99, Infectious, Sozo Lion, and last but not least, Incendiate, who we are currently watching and can now understand why he is considered one of our extreme bosses.
Oh, I mean, of course, obviously, extreme bosses means top 3 in one of the previous brackets. I think he did win the previous one, didn't he?
I believe it was Sozo. Okay. But yeah, because the last one was on PlayStation, now we're back on the PC side of things. So a lot of these players that otherwise wouldn't have competed are now back and hopefully running it down, trying to show people that there is 3 different sides to this community: PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
No Switch, sorry folks. But now here, Incendiate getting KONMAI up into the wall here in the corner. Some people will have you believe the walls move on the stage. I don't believe that, really.
They do. Every round they swap from corner to open center stage each time. Yes, there they go.
Oh, there you go.
But I will say, I really like the cadence that KONMAI played at for the beginning of that last round and continuing to try to do again, right? The immediate aggressive stopping of steps, trying to corral movement, not wanting to let Xianghua start a lot of her sidestep offense. But once it gets started here, once you're pushed up against the wall versus a character like Xianghua, it feels oppressive, extremely impossible to fight back versus, and there we go, Incendiate getting that good sidestep to 2B and taking that round 2.
You know, honestly, after watching a lot of Tekken 8 here with the release of Armor King, I've kind of forgotten just how fast Soulcalibur in the franchise is in compared to like neutral in games and stuff like this. Because look at this. Incendiate is pressing the attack here for like the last 30 seconds, and it's all stuff you have to be able to read and counter. And right now, unfortunately, KONMAI just getting caught out, got caught ducking there.
And that is going to be the kill, and Incendiate is going to take that one down 2-0. There was a lot of fight put up there, and I do like some of the decisions KONMAI made in the earliest points of neutral, but once it turned into a walled situation where a lot of it came down to KONMAI not being able to step out or not being able to backstep anymore and move away, eaten alive. Incendiate makes that pressure look extremely detrimental and hard to deal with.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a game like Soulcalibur where you can move around so much, being able to do that consistently is like the mark of a top tournament player. If you can't use like one of the key pillars of defense and he reads everything else that you're doing, it's gonna feel like you just can't do anything and you're getting, like you said, nickel and dime to death because of all the reads.
Yes, especially not an extremely high damage character by any means, but has the powerful sustain, the thing that allows you to continue playing and make sure that people aren't allowed to take their turns back, right? Having one of those fast buttons, the I-10, which is one of the fastest AAs in the game. Yep. Hard to contest with, hard to contend with. Most characters don't have a tool that good. But speaking of tournament, there is actually a way to give these competitors a little extra money. We didn't mention it yet, but yeah, we didn't mention it yet. But if you hit !Matcherino in the chat, there's already actually $50 in the Matcherino, and now all you have to do is continue to use those Matcherino codes. All you do is you hit the orange contribute button up in the top left corner, log in with any modicum of social media. There's way too many. There's no way you don't have one. And if you do get to log in, you hit the claim code button, you give a free 25 cents to the pot for those players to continue to fight over. The higher that Matcherino gets, the sweatier the matches are going to be. I can promise you that.
No, Beanie, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say it's free? Money?
It is free money. And there's even additional sponsor quests off to the side if you want to be just a little bit generous while still being free.
Wow. Back to sound effects says that's absolutely amazing. Everybody in our chat should do that. It sounds like an absolutely amazing way to support this amazing community and show love to our TOs and players. If you don't do that, what are you even doing, folks? Unacceptable. Yeah. But man, look at how many codes we already got claimed. You'll love to see it, Beanie.
Yeah, you know, only 36 remaining. We are early in the night, so hopefully we can see them all claimed before the end of the stream today. Especially because, remember, guys, this is the Soulcalibur 7-year birthday. If we're not going to make sure that we're using up the codes for the 7-year birthday, when are we going to use them up, huh?
We never get another 7-year birthday again for Soulcalibur 6 ever again. This is the day to do it, folks. There is no better time to do it because you'll never be able to do this again. I tell you, man, you don't want to miss out on being a member on this day of the stage of history. It's so important to do it.
Prove your soul still burns. Correct. And we have a couple of other familiar names in the bracket. It looks like we have Sozaline, Grolix, names that we know very well. Superflydrew, who may not be here. It looks like he was given a winning DQ. Ghost, Yorha, once again, winning DQ. KONMAI and Incendiate, which we both saw. Ryan V, SweatySpaghetti, Okamagen, Infectious, and Toothcake. A lot of known names when it comes to the other online tournaments that have existed for Soulcalibur for quite a while now.
Yeah, and shout outs to Wednesday Night Fights for keeping like the online tournament scene alive, man. They've been running that non-stop for 7 years, if you think about it. And of course, obviously the West Coast keeping that scene alive, man. Just seeing all these players still going around and like some new names that I'm not as familiar with just because I haven't been able to check in as often as I like to. It's so good just to see so many people are playing this game because it's so underrated in my opinion. People look over it in favor of other games. It deserves the attention, honestly. It's such a good game still.
You can get this game pretty cheap on CD keys, and I think you should. If you're looking to play a 3D fighter and you're feeling disgruntled from Tekken while you're waiting for that Virtua Fighter 7, you got the itch and you're like, I need this Virtua Fighter 6. Where is it at? It might be time to hop on some Soulcalibur 6 while you wait.
Indeed. And honestly, I want to say, like, if you want to figure out how to play some Virtua Fighter, you might be better off to play a little Soulcalibur because the movement is more similar, in my opinion. Tekken's kind of its own thing, but if you want to get into the mindset for Virtua Fighter, I mean, you can obviously play Virtua Fighter 5, but 6 is also a pretty good way to get started, too.
And I believe we are lining up these players for the next round of the bracket. I actually don't know who's on. It looks like we're going to be seeing SweatySpaghetti versus Ryan V. I believe Ryan V uses both of the Greeks, Cassandra and Sophitia, and then SweatySpaghetti has basically been a Grow main since the day we've seen him touch a controller in the Soulcalibur 6 game.
You know, obviously Grow, kind of a, I wouldn't say beginner-friendly character, but someone that makes approaching the game of Soulcalibur pretty approachable. You got some insane stuff when you get that soul charge going here, but obviously it can come down to making the right reads. Sophitia obviously kind of more rush down focused, using that angel step that you saw there. Right now, just kind of filling each other out with some pokes here. The back one, that's one of Sophitia's like best moves to kind of stop people.
I'm a big fan of her 4A. Yeah, I do like also the simplicity of the game plan that both of these characters go for. If you're not doing a lot of the angel step and twin angel step stuff, both of these characters are phenomenal mid-range characters that are working towards getting a whip punish and setting up plus frames on offense.
And you saw right there the 6-6B. That is like the legacy with punish for Sophitia. She's never not gonna have that move because it is such a good move. It's like what, plus on block by like a few frames, or am
I believe it's -2, not plus on block, but it is going under the high there. It is -2, which may as well be plus for a character that is very good at sidestepping and at evading things with crouch like Sophitia is. That is going to be a wall hit here. This might actually be enough to kill, even with this potentially low frame rate. Hopefully the players aren't feeling this low frame rate. Maybe it's just on our end, but currently Sweaty looking to attempt to close it out here. I like the usage of the soul charge here because that actually stops the clock so that you can potentially create a comeback situation, but Sweaty using that 6-6A very well there to corral the movement and close out that first round.
It's only the first round here too. Like that felt a little longer than I probably did because I mean the footsies went down to the last minute, and the second hit on the 6-8.
That is exactly how you get that lethal hit, getting counter hit on that, and that second hit is a perfect way to get the counter hit. Going for the 4-4K and the 4-4K jumping over a low, which is that lethal hit condition 2 in a row.
Ooh, try to go for the wall hit again. Another good GI, but like you said,
I love the side step out.
Oh, I'd love to see it when your side steps actually work in 3D fighters. I tell you what, it's something so glorious when that actually happens. Okay, using the soul charge again, try to maybe get away from the wall there. Good side step, gets the second hit as well there, plus frames now. Okay, nice.
Immediately using the... Oh, I was gonna say immediately using that soul charge to try to fight back and steal this round away, but Ryan V able to steal that away. Still not sitting on any meter though, which is a little scary, kind of hard for people to deal with. Whenever you're low on meter and your opponent has more, right? Most of the soul charges in the game, especially a character like Grows, are really strong. Not really a position you want to be in. It's basically heat before heat existed, so be very scared of soul charges if you're new to Soulcalibur 6.
Sophia calling out the sidestep there on the RE. Again, keeping it going here, but there's that sidestep. Gets the lethal hit with sidestep B, and then I know that does a lot of damage when I play Grow, man. Whenever I actually get that to work, it felt so good because I was taking away a third of the health bar just like that. And now
Ryan V using the soul charge again at 1 life. Are we going to see Sweaty go for that 6-6A again? Not yet. Holding out, blocking, taking all of this chip damage, but chip can't kill. And there is the 6-6A, the delay as long as possible, finding his opportunity, finding his moment, and closing out that round.
Can you say patience? Because man, I would have pressed at least 3 times before that move came.
I would have done it as soon as they soul charged at me. I'm not gonna lie to you. This man, Sweaty, has the patience of a true gamer.
Indeed. Okay, and there's that twin angel step, but SweatySpaghetti's like, you know what? I actually don't want to go to the ledge, but there, the soul activation getting stuffed. Here comes the second attempt, getting it this time, but man, now you're down 2 bars of butter. You got one of those back, but you know what? You only need 1 more round to do it.
Oh, nice, I like the 2-2B there. And stuck at the wall here. Deer in the headlights, deer in the dying. Oh my gosh, taking it with that unblockable.
Oh, the ultimate check, man. I love that move so much. Like, I know it's a scrub killer move, and that's all it should be used for, but sometimes you just gotta throw it out, and wouldn't you know it, you catch a guy who's just standing there. And okay, now we're tied up here 1-1. Sweaty using that bar here.
Early. I like this because right now, if you use it this early, you might be able to secure the kill before Ryan can actually build enough meter to get a soul charge to fight back with, but you've got to stay on the offense. And right now, being on defense, not a good position to be in, using up almost his entire bar of soul charge. 1 more mix up.
Those frames now here again. Oz waited out. Nice interrupt. The throw.
The happiness throw. And we've got 1 more mix. Are they going to be able to build the soul charge? I think they're going to use it here.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't know who took the round. It looks like it was SweatySpaghetti who took that round, which means the first game goes to Sweaty.
Okay, then.
I believe what happened was because it was so slow that we were behind on the feed. Their match was already done, and we were waiting on the next match to start. That's what happened.
I can see it. Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't see the final moments of that, but we do know our victor of the first match, or the first round of the match, was SweatySpaghetti. Let's see if there's any adjustments on the sides of Ryan V. He does have the secondary character that he could potentially swap to, but there is also just those minor adjustments that could be made. Maybe not spending bars so early, giving away so many extra bars to things like dying to 6-6A after popping a soul charge, holding onto that meter. It's precious. It's not gold precious. You don't want to die with it, but you do want to use it in situations where you're more likely to be able to mount a comeback off of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sophia's soul charge, I mean, once everybody kind of got those buffs in, was it season 2 when they introduced that? Yeah. Sophia got like one of the best soul charge
Toss A plus B. Twin Angel Step A plus B. An amazing move. Great for pressure, great for corralling movement. Perfect kind of tool to use to beat highs in the like stuffing and approach kind of option. It has it's an everything button. It's very good, but there are very obvious counterplays to it, and Grow has strong verticals, and that is the thing you generally use to beat something like Twin Angel Step A plus B.
Not to mention too, like Grow's actually like always been insane in soul charge. Like he's kind of built around like playing solid fundamentals, and then when that soul charge is activated, he just kind of goes full anime mode. So it's kind of
really does go full anime. Yeah, he goes Super Saiyan. I think that's the best way to put it. Does get one of the most obnoxious 50-50s I've ever seen in a 3D fighting game. That is also backed up by the fact that his low is no longer just a low. There's a low and then a mid mix connected to it, and then he has the 3BB. He has the 3B into multiple different stances. Grow in soul charge is a monster, and Sweaty used the bar more as a threat than he did as an actual offensive tool, and I really like that because it just makes people really scared to want to press buttons versus you while you're in soul charges. Grow.
Indeed, and love to see here, like you mentioned, Sophia obviously kind of like the more neutral orientated of the twins, but Cassandra, if Cassandra does come out, I gotta tell you, man, I kind of regret not picking up Cassandra earlier in my Soulcalibur playing days.
That's my Greek frame train. That is my
yeah.
girl. Yeah, I like to. You get to bully people on Cassandra, and it is very fun. She's a frame heavy character, really fast, has strong evasive buttons, and really good range 1 and range 0 neutral. Like very close range, but when you get those knockdowns, when you score big hits, she is an extremely powerful character.
Dude, going from like Mitsurugi and Hilda to playing Cassandra, and it's just like, wait, I could play this game like this, and I don't have to think about everything I'm doing. This is what everybody else was doing all the time, playing this character. What have I been doing all this time?
Like I'm turning my brain off and using BK or 3AK. Whoa, this is crazy.
I didn't know it could be so easy. Oh man, here we go. And then you throw on her soul charge stuff on top of that too, the guard gauge stuff, and then the grapple system. Like I forgot that she's
multiple things that she has off of a grapple. Yeah, and also great ways to confirm the low throw in 2-2B, which is a plus on block crumple that leads into low throw. Her B2, which is a slow low that is safe on block but leads into, once again, a crumple that leads into a low throw. She's got a lot of phenomenal tools. We could see these things come out of her IMV, or we could see him running right back with the Sophia, because it was really close.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because they kind of like to rush down more, so Cassandra's got more for that play style here. And once we get loaded in, we'll have to see. Yeah, here we go. State character selection. Nope, stick with the Sophia. Yeah,
I respect it.
I like it because I think if Ryan can keep it in mind that Sophia is kind of more of like the neutral focused of the two, if you can keep Grow out and play kind of like the more mid-range like that, Sophia kind of has the advantage over Grow. He's really relying on getting the soul charge to really rush down, but she can space him out if she knows how to play it properly.
Yeah, that is one thing I'll say. I think specifically when you think of the two characters' punish games in the mid-range, you're going to see that Sophia has the stronger punish game in mid-range just like that, using these stabs and things even from crouch. So you have to be extremely careful when using things that are -14, -16 versus this character. But the range advantage does go to Grow, so it is something to think about and consider.
And there, Sweaty just making a great call there, deciding like, you know, I know there's probably a vertical coming here, so let me do a sidestep and then getting the ring out. I would say Ryan's doing some stuff that's a little risky there. Good block, or I'm cancel on it. Catches the step there. Finally getting those
another catch on the step.
Yeah. Okay, now it's going to come down to playing some defense here. You got to be patient against this Grow. Oh, got crouching there. And now
what Sweaty was doing for most of that pressure, losing a little bit of his frames just to realign towards the wall to force real mix on Ryan V, not allowing him to backstep, not allowing him to sidestep out, by pushing him towards that wall and making it so that his mix-ups became true. Really smart.
Right now, here comes that Grow soul charge game. Now you got to be careful because he can do so much things. Just interrupt the turn.
A baseball slide.
Nice.
And calling out the sidestep with the 4A, the back one, as you called it, from Virtual Fighter.
Yeah, basically. And now we have to kill back here to neutral game, and I think Ryan, again, there you go, just fiction in some of the string knowledge, but
good sidestep.
Yeah.
I like what he's doing here because a lot of the bigger hits that you're going to be getting with Grow will lead to more meter gain, and Grow with that meter, even if you're not getting the kill with it, you are threatening a powerful sequence of mix-ups that most characters don't have access to.
The vertical working out there for Ryan, and then the early release on the B+K. That's some classic Sophie tech. Great guard impact, good back throw escape there by Spaghetti. And that's one thing, too. We don't see a lot of throws from both these players yet, and I feel like once we kind of get that going here, especially from Ryan, there's going to be some more offense opportunities. But
there's been a lot of tech crouches. Yeah, there's been so many tech crouches that it feels extremely scary, right? You have to crowd your opponent. You have to force them into not wanting to move, not wanting to duck, because you can just completely blow up throws in this game by crouching. They're very easy to see once you're crouched that they've whiffed. So it was cool that he used it, but yeah, and now stuck towards the wall here. Oh, Sweaty using that GI, attempting to try to steal a turn back to keep Ryan near the corner there. Doesn't work out, and now Ryan putting himself on game point.
And that last round, I'm not sure what exactly changed in the mindset, but he was just making all the reads there. I know Spaghetti was trying to move a lot and getting called out
trying
there.
To press too many buttons, getting hit by those third hits. The second hit syndrome is what I like to call it. And right now, Ryan is just in full control of the neutral, pressing as many buttons as he wants here. And Sweaty not really doing anything to fight back versus it.
Yeah, and it's Ryan activating the Soul Charge, but then backing off and getting Sweaty a chance to activate his own Soul Charge. That might be a mistake that he doesn't want to make here. Got caught there with the mid. Soul Charge is out now. Okay.
Oh, trying to go in for the stagger throw, but getting Soul Charged out. This is one mix up for Ryan. Using the low. Is he going to do it again? Goes for a 2A to stuff the, I believe that's his new Soul Charge follow-up. I don't know the notation for that button.
Yeah, I think Ryan, like you said, got caught pressing too many buttons and doing too many things, because once Sophia kind of went back to just playing small Soulcalibur, stopping the movement, doing just 1K and 2A, like you saw how many run counters there were, just catching out everything that he was doing, trying to do too much. So
Sweaty was definitely trying his best to move around in too many situations that led to being cornered, corralled, and walled. But now we're on a stage that's significantly bigger. So those situations are going to be less frequent, a lot more room to backstep here, a lot more room to move around. But you've got to make sure you're not getting second hit syndrome constantly. You've got to be able to know when strings end and when it's your turn to press again. Again, getting hit by the second hit of that string, trying to press buttons too early.
Ooh, and again, calling out the sidestep with the sidestep B. Okay, now there you
This
go.
is a potential comeback. I like that, knowing that a lot of times he's been using that 2A to try to close out rounds, so immediately calls it out with the 4K. The 4K again!
Oh! Red, like a book, tell you what, brother. Oh boy.
Yeah, this man is feeling like a librarian today. That's the kind of momentum you need to be able to turn this around here. Really good stuff from Sweaty.
All right, rolling out of the way on the wake-up throw there, and again, just go back.
Oh, no, he's being too obvious. I believe we found a tell from Ryan that's allowing SweatySpaghetti to get a lot of damage here, and it's worked out. 4 for 4. Is he going for the Wendy's meal?
You gotta complete the combo set, man. You can't just get the burger and the fries. Throw the drink in
You
the bag.
gotta get the drink and the Frosty. We need it all. Give us the drink and the Frosty. Going for it again. This time using the AAK to push his way out of that situation instead of using the 2A again. I really like that. Finally catching on to Sweaty being ready for that 2A situation.
Oh, that damage. The baseball slide again. Oh, the delay 1B. And then now, the counter hit going in the favor of, well, I guess nobody reset the neutral. And then a 6-6-8.
Able to take out that round with more than half life left. It looks like making some of those small adjustments is enough for Ryan to kind of stabilize in this game, maybe take back some of that momentum that Sweaty was building so fast. This full counter hit conversion into the CE is a perfect way to start a potentially 3-round comeback.
Yeah, and you saw Ryan now has kind of gone to less of those lows now to kind of get that defense going. Nice,
the lethal hit.
One.
Yeah, that lethal hits if it's full charge versus a defensive option like GI. That was really smart to call out, knowing that the fast option generally was something like a 2A. Finally using those 2As again, and Sweaty not ready for them. Trying to use it there. The jump K to stuff the 4-4K. Really smart stuff from Ryan here. Making those Yomi level 2 and Yomi level 3 reads so impactful.
Love the adjustments, and now we're on final round for this set here. Oh, immediately just gonna get this damage here. You only need a little bit more for one more bar. Might as well cash out that damage. Already down almost 50%.
That first damage. Might be able to build another bar to use a soul charge, but we know Sweaty is likely to wake up with a soul charge of his own for this full soul charge. Does have two. Oh, gets the splat. Isn't ready for it though. Could have gotten actually a ground to confirm there.
3B gets caught,
but
no,
you can't do that.
Yep. Again, Rose Soul Charge. There it is, though, for Ryan. Now you gotta make the most of it here. Now, Spaghetti does still have a bar, but might not have a chance to use it here.
Here it goes. Gonna have to use it.
Yep.
Has one spot to use it, gains a little bit of life back, jumping over the 2A plus B on a pixel of HP, cannot make a mistake and gets hit by that toss A plus B. The move you had called out as one of Sophia's best everything buttons for the new season. Phenomenal stuff from Ryan V, keeping it close and taking that back 3 rounds straight. That is adjustment. Powerful.
I remember the days where Ramon would win entire rounds just going in the Soul Charge and using TAS A plus B, man. That move is so good, and it's glad to see that it's finally coming out there at the exact right time to take the round. That was such a close set. Once those jumps started going in, that's how you knew, like, they're going to go absolutely ham. I love to see it.
Yeah, the adjustments and then the micro adjustments right back into the Yomi levels where people were trying to make reads back and forth of, oh, is he finally going to 2A again? He's going for the 2A, I'm going to 4-4K. Okay, well, I'm going to jump K to beat your 4-4K, so now we're both reset to neutral. Who's going to win neutral from here? I love those opportunities. Those are the kind of moments that make 3D fighters feel significantly more special than 2D fighters, right? And that's not to knock 2D fighters, because all fighting games are beautiful, all fighting games are great, but this is the kind of things you see in 3D fighters that make them so powerful and so fun to watch.
I mean, man, like, I've been playing some Street Fighter 6. That game's a lot of fun, but in terms of games that are the 6th entry of the franchise, I prefer this one just a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, when you think of 6 centuries, there's one that's been out for 7 years that's really good, and one that's coming out soon that is hopefully really good. Both in the 3D fighting game space.
Yeah, you gotta think about it a little bit. But you know, Beanie, what's something that you really should not have to think about too much?
I assume it's the same thing I'm thinking, right? Using the Matcherino codes.
Yeah.
I think we should use up as many of those as possible. Exclamation point Matcherino in the chat. 33 codes remaining, which means 3 more have been used since the last time we've mentioned it. You guys are already watching the stream. You're already big time vibing. You're enjoying hopefully these phenomenal matches. So give these phenomenal matches just a little bit of extra love and care by using the contribute button to donate 25 cents to the prize pool for free. No money, no sweat off your brow.
Dude, you can use your Twitter, you can use your Twitch, you can use
battle.net.
Battle.net. I'm pretty sure I used my AOL account at some point in the past. I don't know, but it worked for some reason, so... But... What was it? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just made a joke. Okay. I said old.
Oh, I thought you said like, oh, like something surprised you, but
no,
listen.
Old. Yeah, it did. AOL surprised me for sure.
I'm only 28, man. I ain't that old.
Oh, okay.
You're not even a couple years.
Yeah, you're not even over the hump. You're actually younger than me. I'm 30.
Yeah. See? Look who's talking. Anyway, though, but yes, again, give a shout out here to our Matcherino code. It should be in the chat for y'all folks there. And again, we still have 30 plus content codes to use. Might as well go ahead and use it here. And we're just looking ahead at some more brackets here, potentially looking at a matchup between, looks like maybe Ghost and Yorha, which, man, Yorha is a character or a player I have not seen in a while.
It's going to be Toothcake versus Infectious. Okay, Infectious, the Ivy Extraordinaire, one of the most prolific Ivies when it comes to playing degenerately. I'm trying to put it lightly without sounding offensive.
I mean, you can call it what it is, but if you see,
I gotta call a spade a spade. Yeah, he plays very degenerately.
Like, she is peak degeneracy. Like, character design, gameplay design, everything that you can think of.
A zoner with command grabs. Did you ever think that a zoner with command... What if they gave Dawson a command grab, huh? How would y'all feel? We wouldn't like that, right?
You just have JP from Street Fighter VI.
No, you just have Ivy. Ivy did it first.
Exactly.
Oh, and she did it better, coming in with the lethal hit immediately, pushing towards the ring edge here, trying to get the 50-50 reset. I like that now, pushing towards the wall, using that 6A non-charged, blocking that but no punish. That is -12. Instead, going for the frames here. I like it. One more mix-up potentially, and already potentially able to close out this round. The 3B to try to zone out with here, and the 2K to close it out.
Hey, you were talking about this character being the zoner degenerate, and for a character like Taki, when you can't get your mobility going there, it is going to feel like you just can't play the game. And right now, Infectious, no deer in the headlights for him here. Going to sidestep that unblockable and get the quick punish. And there again, the backstep. 3D movement, man, I tell you what, it's something beautiful.
And let's see what the option is going to be. Speaking of 3D movement, we also have 3D movement on the ground, using that roll to try to beat the next wake-up option and able to get back in here, not going for the wind roll after, trying to reset neutral and get back in honestly here. I don't know how well that's going to work out. Might not be enough, but it is Infectious, knowing the amount of damage needed to close out these rounds. Perfect.
And you know, Ivy is just one of those characters where you've got to know how to counter everything that she's doing. Otherwise, she's just going to press buttons in the neutral and just prevent you from doing anything. Obviously, Infectious kind of backing up here again, because that's the zone that they want to play at. They don't want to be at range 0, even though she has great stuff like that command grab you mentioned. Good guard impact there, but just getting
I-16 command grab really fast, especially in comparison to the normal throw, which I believe is either I-18 or I-20 for most characters. So it's a really powerful command grab and leaves her in a range when you break it where you have to immediately contend with another one if you don't want to backstep. But if you backstep, you could get hit by one of her powerful lethal hits that beats the option.
Just a couple of drops there, though, for Toothcake, and man, like, playing patiently, I'll give them credit after that first round. They definitely slowed it down and really adjusted how they want to approach. There were just a couple of drops there, but getting the final punish on that last hit there in the last round, finally getting around the board, does have 2 bars of meter, and again, a good sidestep. Like, the adjustments are on display now.
Yeah, trying to go for a lot of these 3B holds into immediately K-slide A, which means that they're expecting these things to counter hit. He's getting the whip punish, but not capitalizing, expecting it to instead be a counter hit. So gonna have to be a little more conservative when it comes to the combo damage he's getting if he wants to be able to make something out of it.
All right, does still have that bar of butter. You might have to consider using. There it is. There's
the first one to check out. I love that. Yeah, and still has one more bar of meter here. Doesn't want to spend it just yet. Still has a little bit of soul charge gauge left to fight back with. And able to beat the 6XA with the shuriken toss. Really good stuff from Toothcake here.
I was just gonna say, probably not gonna throw out a shuriken because you gotta be careful with a lot of that zoning stuff, but find the right spacing.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna hit.
No way, what a read.
Their reads are immaculate, knowing they had the right spacing for the shuriken earlier and knowing the timing for when they could use that CE to beat the 6-6 A-hold. Very powerful stuff right now from Toothcake. Looking like they're making some big adjustments.
Yeah, like after that first round, I was kind of worried the rush down would be too much, but man, this like change of pace has been all the difference. And now Ivy's got yellow flashing on the guard gauge here now, but you know what? Only needs one read to get a lot of that damage. Great guard impact.
I love that. Going for the immediate A+B A. That's actually I6 at the fastest, so you can't re-GI. It's free frames for Taki. She's one of the only characters who's allowed to do that.
And then a 1A to go underneath the shoulder there from Toothcake, taking it over Infectious here. Who, a reminder for everybody, Infectious is one of our extreme bosses in this tournament here. That means they've won.
For bringing it up. Yeah, that is true. This could be a potential upset. As Infectious is, first of all, very well-known player, someone who does extremely well in most of our online tournaments, and also for the Xtreme Fighters Showdown series is an extreme boss. So this could be a big upset.
I'm looking forward to it. I always love it when an underdog story happens here in front of my eyes, but you know what? It's only the first game. Infectious, like you said, a long-time tournament player, part of being a tournament player, making adjustments between games here, and of course we're going to another stage here where you're going to have less movement now, so a lot of that Ivy zoning and space control is going to be a lot more effective against a character like Taki who really wants to move around here, so we'll have to see if that's going to play into effect.
You also have to think that having less space to play around with means that Ivy's able to bully more with some of her long-range options, right? Because now if you push towards the corner, you're allowed to backstep and corral because she won't be able to backstep to create the space for those jump overs that they were doing so well.
Already, you can see Infectious getting Tooth up into the corner here now, and now going to be really able to control the movement. But great twitch duck there by Tooth, and then the rough throw.
And the forward throw. Yeah, staying on the same side and not taking the back throw to try to reset the positioning, instead going for the normal damage. But now push towards the floor here. This could be a potential reset, and takes it. I like that. 2 resets in a row. Only needs 1 more.
Caught her crouching there. RE, that's be too far away. Good back step, though, here.
I like the RE cancel.
Yeah.
Oh, and the wind roll, the full charge wind roll.
Going underneath, and man, like Tooth is just doing such a great job of playing into the neutral game against this character who is just a natural at keeping these characters out of her space. But here again, the sidestep and the movement added up here. There's the good capture there, what Incendiate, or Infectious, my bad. Sorry, Incendiate, Infectious, two
like this character
players. Yeah. Okay, now back to neutral here again. The approach
trying to find some tricky ways in here. Didn't work out there, but I do like showing the option that there's more than one way to approach. Not just showing your opponent the one very segmented way that people think to approach on Taki. We haven't seen too much 6-6 A+B, so that could be a move that could be used to get in a little bit. That is a vertical horizontal that you can full charge to make plus on block, but it hasn't been necessary versus Ivy so far.
Infectious getting caught guarding again here. Again, Tooth making the adjustments on the approach. Oh,
I like the anti-air.
Nice. Oh, and again, the kick up as well here. Just slightly off. And then now the Tooth punish here is going to go for Infectious. Both characters have 2 bars of butter to use here. You got to imagine it's going to be popped here pretty soon.
I'm waiting to see if maybe Infectious is going to be the first one to pop so he can secure this round, but doesn't even need it, getting the big lethal hit, and that is absolutely going to be enough to close out this round. We saw what happened the last time that Infectious went up 2 rounds, so there is still some fight left in Toothcake. Not spending a bar of meter there does feel bad because he would have immediately gotten it back, but already starting it off well with a knockdown, but not expecting the rollback. Oh, taking the unfortunate non-tech trap. Either if you don't Yukimi there, you take the extra damage. This is a huge lead for Infectious. Might even be able to potentially, close it out here, but instead blocking that, doesn't know the punish. -16, could have gotten maybe even an A6 off of that from that range.
Again, we're kind of seeing here Infectious being able to use a lot of the smaller space to control the movement here now for Tooth, and then there, the call out. Tried to be a little too linear, didn't get enough to kill, but then the counter out, the wake up. Infectious going to get a game here over Tooth, just kind of limiting how the approach game worked out for Tooth in that situation. Like we said, like that character wants to kind of get to that movement flow chart down. It's going to be hard to get anything started.
Yeah, I like the minutia of that interaction. So it was very small and slight. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when seeing Ivy in possession, when seeing Taki in possession, after the knockdown, they rolled backwards. They did a sidestep, a crouch, and then delayed wall rising B. That's to beat Shuriken, immediate possession B, and potentially rushing down with the forward approach out of possession. He was ready for all three options right there in that moment. That is the speed of 3D fighters that sometimes, if you're not paying attention, you won't know that your opponent played all three options in their head that fast.
See, Beanie, this is why they have you on commentary. Like, all of this stuff goes by so fast that I still can't comprehend it because you've got so much more experience in this franchise than I do, unfortunately, and I still have a lot to learn.
Well, hey, you know, it's a learning experience for every single one of us, everyone on commentary, everyone on the stream, even the players. Everyone's learning as we go. That is the beauty of fighting games. But sometimes these players just learn each other a little bit faster. That is the second time going for a throw, Twitch ducking the second one. Really smart there from Infectious. This is what I mean by these players are good at adjusting, good at adapting, quick to learn. Again, beating one of those very narrow defensive options, right? Trying to use a jump button to approach to beat out that full crouch 1B, but didn't need to use it there.
Man, even with the guard gauge going down there for Infectious, like still just pressing the attack. Oh, missed space. The grab had the right idea, but it was too far away because of that, I would say, like tech movement off of the, I forgot what the input is, but the kind of turns around.
I believe that is, oh, nice duck under from the closest range. It's actually a high. The further you're away from it, the more it becomes a mid. Very messed up button. I like that. Just 6K to close it out.
Yeah.
That move traditionally is actually minus on hit, but if you're using it to close out the round, who cares about minus frames? They're dead.
Exactly. You can't punish me if you're dead. And now plus frames again here. Again, that flip pick has been the most consistent way that Tooth's be able to get in, but again, Infectious just kind of playing it patiently. Does get caught there,
trying to
though.
Get the whip punish. They are not expecting the second follow-up. I like that. The Yomi level 2, right? Finally using the follow-up off of it. Not something that Infectious expected to see. Does have 2 bars of meter here, so if Infectious does something a little too slow, might get immediately CE, trying to turn around with a button there, and unfortunately trying to turn around with that back turn B will get him hit immediately.
All right, well, 2 bars of butter for Taki here. But hey, only one more round needed for Infectious. And I want to say, like, the movement right now, the limiting the movement for Infectious is on point right here.
Ooh, I like that. The slight sidestep first. Trying to use that command throw would have been the first time we've seen it this set so far.
The nice twitch duck there, the wall raising B. And again, the sidestep immediately, the defense is on point.
Yeah, I like the 2-2-A there. That was really good because it's going to build him a lot of meter. Now Infectious is going to have a bar to fight back with her and might even been able to build a second before we see a CE or a soul charge out of a toothcake. Oh, going for the soul attack instead. Going for another soul attack. This is a good position for Taki. Plus frames. I like the back step, just walking away, doesn't want to do anything too risky, but unfortunately calling out the approach immediately. Infectious, showing why I called this character a degenerate zoner.
Yeah, there's not much else to describe it as that, but man, yeah, like we said earlier, once they get that movement under control, that character just kind of controls the whole pace of the game. I think Tooth, when they made the adjustments to do the approach there, they maybe played like too many cards at once, and then Infectious saw the whole deck and display. It's like, okay, so I see what you're gonna do. I'll keep in mind.
You showed him the 4 pieces of Exodia, and he guessed you had the 5th and was ready for it. He said, "No, I'm using that hand destruction. Get that out of here."
Yep. But hey, that's Soulcalibur, man. You love to see it. Just like every character is like in this game, all the tools that all the characters have are just like insane if you know how to use them right, and if you know how to read your opponent. It's so much fun to get that stuff to click.
Yeah, this is one of the games where people talk about tiers in a way that the tiers are the closest they've ever been in one of the, first of all, 3D fighting games, but also in Soulcalibur. This is the most narrow Soulcalibur when it comes to tiers, but it's also the most powerful, right? Everyone is very good. Every character can win a tournament. Every character can be played at the highest level in the right hands, right? We've seen all these characters do well. We've seen Taki from Artgraves, Taki from Toothcake now. We've seen Infectious and Incendiate also on Ivy, multiple players, students of their characters, and it makes this game very interesting because when you watch 2 different players playing the same character, sometimes you can tell who it is without even being able to see the names on the screen. You're like, hey, this guy's playing like a more rushdown focused style on Zasalima. Oh, that must be BeanieThuggish. Oh, wait, this guy's playing a more mid-range approach and wants to lethal hit you and force you into whiffs. So that must be on the tryhard. Like, these things just happen. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this game.
Yeah, I think that's like something that people kind of forgotten about with the other three fighters is like the characters kind of have to play like a certain way because
Yeah,
like
they
that's what their
pilot
toolkits
themselves.
around. Yeah. Soul Calibur though, like you do kind of have that a little bit, but there's still so much character expression or player expression that you are able to do in this game. Like with me, like with Hilda, you can play her as like a zoner almost with their spear, or you can do the rush down charge sword attacks too to kind of rush people down and stop them from moving and get yourself good plus frame situations. There's so many ways you can play the same character.
Yeah, that is the beauty of Soul Calibur and the greatest part about the strengths of the characters' kits. They feel accentuated and they feel unique. So because they're so unique, even though you know how to fight versus a character, you're not just fighting the character, you're fighting the character in a different player's hands from the last one you just played. Every bracket doesn't matter. Oh, I played an Ivy last week. Well, was it Incendiate Ivy? Was it Sane Ivy? Was it Infectious Ivy? You know, these are all going to be different. Oh, I played against 2B. Well, was it Nova Mage 2B or was it Jimbonator 2B? You know, you've really got to. These are the things that. Yeah, you're like, I don't want to fight against either of them, actually.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't beat either of them. Like, I don't want to fight either. Can you give me somebody else for 2B, please? I don't want either.
There's not too many of them left. I mean, that just might be a 2-0 go to losers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of the 2B players went over to Grand Blue when she got in there too. So I mean,
I forgot. Yeah, we lost the star reason why people play our game, right? Oh no, we lost the plot.
No, don't you do that, Beanie.
Everybody played the game. We still have Ivy. You're right.
Yeah,
there's still tons of plot.
You know, everybody picked up the game to play Jerry of the River at the start of the game.
I did think Geralt is really cool. Geralt, and for a while at the very beginning of the game, Geralt was a very powerful character for a lot of the early access things. Sonic Fox was doing well versus Linkors, a player that we expect to see do well in games like NRS games that we maybe don't expect to see do well in Soul Calibur. And then even early on in the life cycle of the game, Linkors was on a character like Geralt. Very strong character, very cool. This was the first fighting game I can think of that had guest characters all the way back in Soul Calibur 2. Maybe even Soul Calibur 1 if you consider Yoshimitsu a guest character from Tekken.
Yeah, technically, I guess if you want to, yeah. But I mean, that's kind of been Soul Calibur's identity, which then Tekken, of course, felt the need to take and use in 7. So, I mean, like Soul Calibur's always
Okuma. I forgot he's considered a guest character. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, technically, like even Heihachi showed up in Soul Calibur 2 on the PlayStation. Yeah, correct. So even they got in on that action way before. In Soul Calibur again.
Fun fact: since we are on the topic of Soul Calibur, and this is Soul Calibur 6's 7th birthday, Soul Calibur 2 is actually supposed to have a character from Final Fantasy VII on the roster for the PS2 version. Unfortunately, they said they could not secure the rights to Cloud Strife before the game came out. So instead they put in a Heihachi. That's how Heihachi ended up on the PS2.
I love how the decision goes from small anime boy with big sword to
big sword.
Heihachi. Big sword, yeah.
I think Big Sword was a great, like, imagine Siegfried versus Cloud. That would have been so cool.
Yeah, would have been, but IP is gonna IP, unfortunately.
Yeah, Smash got him first. We were late.
Yeah. Oh well.
But you know what you don't have to be late to?
What's that?
Chat room? You guys don't have to be late to using up some Matcherino codes. Did you guys know that there's still 32 codes remaining in the Matcherino?
Now, see, that's 32 too many if you ask me. So
I think it is.
We've got it up here on the screen right now. If y'all folks want to join in on these glorious people you see on screen right here, notice our names, BeanieThuggish and Brickman. We're based. That's how you know. Our names are already up there. We're based people. If you too want to be based,
if you don't want to be cringe, you'll use the Matcherino codes.
And it is right there in the chat for you folks. So if you feel so obligated, go ahead and use that login link, get the codes claimed, and then make that pot that much richer and a little bit more stressful for our players too. But you know what? That's just all the more entertaining for you as a chat member, isn't it?
That's what I would like to say, right? Like, when you think about it, the more stressful and high intensity the matches are, the more likely we are to enjoy them, right? We want the highest quality and the highest level of play experience that we could see here today. And there are, like I said, a lot of killers in the bracket, a lot of great players, returning players that we're used to seeing in a lot of these online and offline brackets. So we're already getting that, but if you put a little extra change in the bracket, I'm sure they're going to fight a little harder than they would normally.
A little extra cheddar, as the kids like to say these days.
I like to call it chicken nugget money.
Chicken nuggies?
Chicken nugget money.
What's your preferred dipping sauce?
Barbecue, absolutely.
See, as a Midwesterner, I gotta go with the ranch, but barbecue sauce is pretty good too.
Barbecue sauce or honey mustard. So ranch is like number like 3 or 4. I would even dip them in like buffalo sauce before dipping them in ranch.
Oh yeah, like that's the beauty right there. You eat the buffalo chicken wings basically with the ranch, and then the blue cheese. If you got some blue cheese, man, that's really good.
We're gonna make these competitors hungry. Hopefully we make them hungry enough for a win. And if not, hungry enough to use up the point system to get themselves a Chipotle burrito.
I could go for one, but yeah, why don't we explain that a little bit more here? So if you're new here, we do have basically a season format. This is week 1 of 6 for Soulcalibur and other fighting games, including Soulcalibur Dead or Alive 6, Street Fighter 6, and Tekken 8. Depending on the leader or the positioning you should see here on the screen, you earn points every week due to your placing. And then at the end of the season, you can redeem those points for a lot of really cool prizes on the XFS Black Market. If you want to join in, feel free to join Discord for XFS, which I believe is in the chat as well. And these are free to enter. The sooner you get in on this, and like these players did, the sooner you get the chance to get those points up. Because man, I tell you, if we can bring up the prizes here too, there are some amazing prizes, but you got to earn all this stuff, man. And we're going to make sure you work for them. Because man, Beanie, look at all these amazing things.
Yeah, we've got merch, we've got gift cards, we've got streaming equipment like stream decks and webcams, gaming chairs, and not to mention the most powerful of all, flight, hotel, and admission to the XFS 2026 offline event in Texas.
Now that would kind of require you to win all of your brackets.
All six. If you're a gamer.
If you're him or her or them, you can do it.
If you're they, them, you can do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, it just gives more people the incentive to join in and play these amazing matches. And then of course the match arena as well too. It makes the money pot go up that much as more. And I mean, just fun times had by all. Just what more can you want from your fighting game community?
Yeah, this is the beauty of online brackets. Tons of them to go around, tons of cool circuits. This is what we like to see.
Indeed. And now as we get up here for our next match here, I think if I'm looking at the bracket right, it's going to be Yorha versus Ghost, if I'm looking at it right here, which shout out to Yorha being one of our extreme bosses here as well. Like we're getting brought in here, and it is Yorha and Ghost. Yes, okay. I actually read the bracket right. Hippie. I actually know what I'm talking about for once. So, oh boy.
Yeah, we do have one of our extreme bosses versus Ghost. 2 players I've seen before, and Yorha is one of the more known 2Bs. But I forgot Ghost also plays 2B, so I could have named 4 2B players earlier. Let's see how these 2 styles mesh up against each other.
You were gonna say earlier, like the same character can be played so many different ways depending on the players. So this is gonna be a
Ghost
great
is also an
example.
extreme boss. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So 2 extreme bosses playing the same character that can be played in multiple different ways. This could be like a great display of just like how much a single character can vary in a game depending on who's playing them.
The cacophony of battle cuts
To
through
a
the
pretty
deathly
small
silence
stage here
with an
too, and if
invitation to
2B is known for
madness.
one thing, it's her movement, because she has got so many ways to just zip it around the screen, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, and I think that one of the scarier things is that because 2B's buttons are relatively slow in comparison to other characters, that means maybe some of the zipping around will go less contested versus, versus herself rather than other characters. That is going to be a lethal hit. Lots of meter builds here. Get the back turn combo. Already did half a bar of meter. Powerful here from Yorha.
Getting hit there with the second extension of the string, and again the jumping in the air, the shockwave. And again, these side steps are on point here for Yorha. Relying maybe a little too much on the verticals, good punish, but then the interrupt again with the delay on the 1B. Like right now, it's just kind of sidestep rush down here for Yorha, and it's working out pretty good.
Yeah, I do like the idea that he immediately went for the punish on the backstep just in case, knowing that there was a little bit of space between the wall and the opponent there, and it worked out perfectly. But Ghost being able to start some big offense here. So many of these side steps for Yorha, but that's the first one that is not going to be unpunished. And there's the back turn lethal hit again. Both of these guys jamming on that 6BB, making sure they get their back turn lethal hits, eating their Wheaties.
I tell you, like, I'm kind of guilty of it, but after playing Tekken for a while, coming back to this game, when I try sidestepping and seeing just how effective it is, I kind of sidestep a little too much sometimes. I can
You're like, oh, I feel powerful. This is great.
Well, hey, when you can do stuff like that pretty easily, why not do it? Great sidestep there, dropping the combo, though. We call those American resets around here, though. Good block on the low, though. And now the throws. Here we go. Everybody's
That does reverse the positioning, though. That is one of the downsides of that throw specifically. Able to get the auto GI there. Unfortunately, cannot jump out. Tried to use a backstep out with the 4-4-B and then tried to use the jump low there. Both options beaten by Yorha. Having great positioning and awareness there for understanding what the opponent wanted to do to try to get out.
Again, the third time, and Yorha is just using these guard impacts and saying, like, no, it's never your turn, I'm afraid. Let's just get himself back on some offense here.
Ooh, and calling out the roll with the, I can't remember the name of that. I believe it's Aggression Shift BA. Aggression Shift.
That's the thing to me, that her attack names are all, like, basically, like, code inputs, and that was
stance BA. There we go. We'll just call it stance.
Yeah. Ooh, nice call out.
Tracking him down. Does have 2 bars of meter to play with here, but doesn't want to use either one of them. Taking that throw, that's going to be one mix-up now. You've got to use a bar of meter or close it out by immediately running it straight down with that low into immediate mid. Really good stuff. Now they're both sitting at 2 bars of meter for the final round. The sidestep out to beat the reversal edge. The plague of people's existence early in this game, right? People were like, oh man, reversal edge is broken. Reversal edge isn't fun to play against. But these competitors really good at calling it out naturally during their game plan. I really love that.
You gotta get a gauge of how much somebody's actually played this game, depending on how much they don't like reversal edge. But hey, okay, the rage or I'm sorry, my Tekken brain coming in.
Critical
edge, yeah, missing there. But now Yorha with a second chance, the run in, the break on the throw, and again the sidesteps again. Man, like 2B sidesteps so good in this game.
Still has 1 mix-up left, but both of them have a soul charge to fight back with here, trying to roll off the wall and getting called out by the Aggression Shift BA once again. Knowing that you were already called out by that once, a little bit of a fool's errand there, but we do have to reset to the lobby to see some, unfortunately, to see a swap of costumes.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the customization in this game. You can make some pretty fun stuff. But in the tournament, it's like, you know, I just kind of want to see the character, you know? I don't need
base costumes only.
I don't want to see my Magikarp Voldo costumes and while I'm trying to play the tournament. That's a little distracting. We'll just call it.
I don't want to see Rainbow Banana Hammock Voldo, man. Put that away.
Yeah, no one wants to see that, actually. Oh, well. They got it. We're all good, but yeah, we'll get that switched around real quick. And honestly, I do like the alternate costume for 2B. The white dress I really like.
Alert. Approaching enemy.
Yeah, that was also a really fun match to watch, that first match, because they kept it relatively even. There was a lot of things that could have maybe turned the tides of battle, like, you know, making sure not to lose to the BAs and a little less linear options with the verticals, but both of them kept it really concise when it came to the choices they used for punishment. I really like that.
Not getting the ring out there here, and now Yorha with another chance here. Again, the sidestep again, man, it's just adding up. I'm kind of confused now, though, if I'm being honest, with the character swaps and all that stuff. That could be
Yorha is the player 2, the one with the white dress. She is 2P is canonically what her name is.
Jump again here, tried to interrupt, but then the Russian K, and that catches some people trying to press buttons there. Multi-plus frames now. The run-up grab, no one expects it. Again, 2 times in a row, why not?
Ooh, and trying to backstep out, getting called out by the 6A. Really good stuff, corralling that movement, not allowing him to continue to run away, making Ghost have to play the game there.
Raising again, the delay on the kick there to get through the guard impact, and now it's Ryan. Ooh, I was going to say backing up Yorha to the wall, but right now we just got a lot of movement shenanigans, for lack of a better term, and gets them back on the wall here, trying to keep that pressure and presence there. The RE clutch. Mix up.
Yeah, I like that. Immediately, this time actually getting the sidestep out, but unfortunately not being able to get a punish from that range, even from the backstep.
Okay, and then Ryan again, really a lot more aggression on their side, I would say, because Yorha's kind of wanting to zone out Ryan through it seems like to kind of like make him afraid to rush down, but man, Ryan just runs on in, and they're interrupting the CE activation too.
That
so,
is
man, that
really
aggression.
powerful, taking away one of those bars of meter for free here.
Yeah,
Oh, missing the whip punish.
up.
Trying to use that defensive option in the GI to steal the turn back, but unfortunately getting blown up by Yorha. A lot of damage on the board here and putting himself on a bar and a half of meter. Really close to being able to build a second bar. Stuck at the wall though. What's going to be the defensive option? Actually just running away.
Too far away from the grab there, back up. And again, Yorha just kind of standing there, giving green light for Ryan to use the aggression stance to move in. But then the side steps here, the alignment. Gotta watch out right here. So kind of, oh, what a call
Enough
out.
to just kill because right now Ghost is sitting in low health, which means guts damage will be applied, and boom, should be enough to close that out. Has 1 bar of meter left. Yorha didn't get to spend one, which means they're not really gaining a full bar of meter for going down to the final round. They're only gaining just a little sliver here. Nice sidestep out, but unfortunately not getting a real punish.
Oh, the jump over the low though here, man. Ryan's finding, or why am I saying Ryan? Ghost has been finding new ways to get in this last round or so, but now forcing the bar of butter to be used to kind of reset the neutral. Again, stuffing the approach here from Ghost, and look at this damage you're beating.
Oh, and putting himself towards the wall. This is a really bad situation potentially for Yorha. Just gonna sidestep around, trying to keep this wall positioning. Maybe able to get. Oh my God! There's nothing that's gonna punish, and it doesn't, which means that we'll see the big damage lethal here coming out of Yorha. That was a read and a half. If we had seen that hit, we would have seen 2B with the self-destruct.
Yeah, I know, probably going for like the style points there. I would have liked to see it, but you know,
Just a regular CE would have killed, I think.
Yeah, it would have. All right, now Ghost giving another chance to Yorha here to get back in this game, or to take the set actually here, because it's 0-1 Yorha actually. Again, back to both 2 bars of butter. Again, the aggression working here for Ghost, but good read there again by Yorha to avoid the high.
Yeah, not able to get anything off of that wall hit, unfortunately. Maybe one of them will finally spin a bar of meter to fight back. There it is, Yorha trying to keep this wall positioning here. Let's see if we see the immediate spin back. We don't, and it leads to Yorha taking that 2-0 in dominant fashion. Both of those so close, but just having the resolve and the tenacity to make those reads late in the rounds that will cause them to be able to sweep the games, close them out, and just get their positioning into this top 8 moving on.
Yeah, like you said, just kind of like 1 or 2 things. I think if that CE came out instead of self-destruct, we would have been looking at a 1-1. But again, just we kind of saw a lot more patience out of Yorha on that set here, because they were just kind of waiting back there, looking for opportunities to punish. And then again, the Ghosts working really well with the aggression when they got the chance, but then those reads added up and led to offense for Yorha, and now here we are, 2-0.
Yeah, very powerful stuff from both players. I really like that the mirror match didn't deter either of them, right? We know that Yorha has another character in the Tira and didn't swap off. I don't know if Ghost has another character, but both of them S rank, right? S1, S2, Paragon is basically Edgemaster, same thing, just win rate based. But both of them, phenomenal stuff. Played very well. Oh, it was supposed to be a normal CE, not a 6 CE. That makes a lot of sense.
And here we were giving them crap for that shoot. I feel bad now.
Well, because, I mean, that could happen now. You're just walking forward to make sure you're in the space for your whip punishment. And if you're still holding 6 during that, you will get 6 CE instead of regular CE. One of the unfortunate situations about having CEs on multiple buttons instead of just having 1 CE to play with for certain characters.
Yeah, it can happen, I guess. But hey, looking ahead in the bracket, this is, they do still have the chance, obviously, to make the losers bracket run. So we could see them get back there to the top and get the run back. I mean, 2B is a character in this game, man. It's a knowledge check and a half, and that aggression was really working out well. It's just a couple of good reads from Yorha to take that round. Which, speaking of Yorha here, looking ahead in the bracket, they'll be going up against Superflydrew in their next match here, and that's going to be the winner's semi. And then also Incendiate versus Infectious. That won't be annoying to commentate at all. I won't mix up their names a single time.
I just hope they both don't play Ivy. As long as they don't both play Ivy, I think we'll be okay.
Oh boy.
And we're still trying to find what will be the next pieces for the loser's side of top 8. But that is the first 4 for our winner's side of top 8. We already know who they're going to be. Really cool here.
Indeed, and look forward to it. I'm kind of curious to see like who some of these other players have been choosing in the losers bracket here. If we go down to some of those guys, just because we've seen just like only what 4 characters, I would say. We had Sophia, we had Ivy, Taki, and then 2B. Is there a character? Oh yeah, X. I forgot X.
X. We also saw X at the beginning and as well. So we've seen
Yeah.
6 characters so far in a 14-man bracket or 15-man bracket. Pretty good. I think that's not the worst. That is a lot of representation for characters. And I believe we might even see a Setsuka, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Superflydrew plays Setsuka.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong. Or
and
let's.
Incendiate is on the Geralt instead of the Xianghua here. Wow, we get a character swap from one of the best players we have here today, one of our secret bosses. Another secret boss knockout round.
I was gonna say, like, Geralt is kind of like definitely Russian orientated, but X is kind of like the counter, I would say, to Ivy, because once she gets in, there are so many things that she can do to limit what Ivy does. Because Geralt, I mean, I think wanting to go for just kind of like a more all-around gameplay approach here.
Yeah, I like what Geralt can do versus some of the shorter range Ivy, right? A Xianghua is mostly about getting in and being sticky, being close, and just being able to continue the offense with powerful frames. You can reset to neutral with a character like Geralt. He's got decent enough frames, he has really good range, phenomenal whip punishment. It's kind of hard to keep him losing in the mid-range.
We were saying earlier, though, what X can do against short-range Ivy pressure. There, Incendiate showing what Geralt can do against short-range Ivy pressure, just throwing out the hand and going with the magic explosion.
8A+B, really fast option that I-12, if I'm not mistaken, I-12 horizontal. Oh, snatch, unfortunately, just narrowly whiffing that 1B 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're talking about the range, just unfortunately slightly out of range twice there. Now Ivy getting the whip push here. Wall break.
I think this might kill. I think this might kill. Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
Somebody submit it. Somebody submit it to Will a kill. Oh, God. Oh, trying to go for the Igni there, but unfortunately, Igni on startup is a high, able to duck under that with the 1A.
Again, using the RE there to stop the approach here from Incendiate. Just going back to full screen here. Just really wanting to play it slow. Not the right option there, though. The 6-6 AA hold. And then now, oh man, you gave Incendiate a chance. He's going to take a mile.
Another ring out.
Trade 1 for 1. It's like, you're going to knock me off the stage? Okay, I can do that too. Watch.
The immediate retort with the soul charge does not want to give Incendiate any extra frames to play with here.
Man, they're both playing like really patient right now. Like, Incendiate is just waiting for the right opportunity, not pressing a lot. Oh, but there's the duck, and then using the armor to get through.
Really smart there. That was a lot of small caliber just to go straight into explosive offense from both players. Both of them still are sitting on 1 bar of meter here. I don't think we're going to see Incendiate use his until he can fight his way off of the ring edge first. Right? Really wants to be able to secure the bag without having to spend it, knowing that he's a round up. Let's see if Infectious is going to try to use his. Doesn't even have the opportunity. The wall rising B is able to close it out there. Incendiate making Geralt look like a top tier.
Indeed, yeah. Honestly, like, I know he's not like top 1 or anything like that. We've got some pretty insane characters, but don't sleep on Geralt. Like, he's got so many tools that just mix you up if you're not prepared for them. Just so many different ways that we said earlier that you can play that character. And
yeah, I think it's a perfect well-rounder. A perfect well-rounder with like an edge. I think it's him, right? Because you think of a character like Xianghua, who is also a well-rounder. I think the big thing to think about here when it comes to Geralt is he has meter spend on top of that extra range that someone like Xianghua doesn't have.
And again, now here the range 0 again, just kind of outpacing Infectious when they get to that range. And again, counter after counter, stopping the movement, stopping the buttons. Like, you gotta respect my offense when I'm at that range.
Yeah, and forcing to the wall here. That's, I think, the scarier part, is thinking about the fact that right now, Infectious is already at the wall, and we were only halfway into the round, but able to fight back off the wall here, walking forward, taking a little bit of space with all of these chip lows.
Right, Incendiate finding the gap here, finally getting some opportunity to attack, but there's the lethal hit, not gonna be enough to kill, but you're at full range again, just gonna back up again, doesn't want any of that smoke, and then, no, you cannot approach me.
Zoning normal to beat it out and spending some of the resource from Incendiate, making him use some of that meter to fight through there.
Like,
they didn't have to do jiggle physics on her GI. They didn't have to do jiggle physics on her GI. That was crazy. I didn't just see that.
The character's degenerate, what do you expect?
Stuck at the wall here. This is the same position that we saw Infectious win from last game. So maybe we'll see something big here. But actually finishing that string, using the 30 to BBB there, and unfortunately stuck here. And now having to fight it out another round because Infectious did indeed lose that round.
Yeah, I think just the kind of weird wall interaction there leading to the dropped combo. But here, as long as they can avoid this situation again here, there you go, sidestep K. And again, just trying to find a way to keep Incendiate out from this wall pressure here. But Infectious, again, just getting kind of pushed back and bullied.
Yeah, making it look like the range that Ivy has doesn't do much versus Geralt, and that is extremely powerful. But now, able to stick towards the wall here, walking forward a little bit, not able to get the wall splat. That's what they were looking for. That's the reason why they walked forward, and unfortunately it wasn't enough. Sidestepping that vertical and immediately closing out that round. 2 rounds up for Incendiate. Is he going to be able to close this out here? Has 2 bars a meter, spending 1. The reason why Geralt has that low 1 AB, and if that hits counter hit with 2 bars a meter on the opponent, it is a lethal hit.
Ooh, nice sidestep there, and then the whiff punish. Reset now here. The read of the mid. Again, the break attack. Okay, now it's Incendiate. He's getting caught pressing a few too many buttons here. Ivy with the wall, but getting called out. Ooh.
Yeah, I like the timing catch. 2 times in a row, they're able to fight back. Now, maybe reversing this ring positioning, but not enough. Using that GI to steal 1 more turn, and Infectious waiting it out, and then taunting back. What?
A little chippy there at the end. I don't know.
I think you got to get in your opponent's head sometimes, right? When right now you're being beaten this hard, oh my goodness, just getting beaten down by these 2 A's and wall rising B's, but able to mount some offense here, has a bar and a half of meter, maybe wanting to spend some here, pressing a lot of buttons, getting called out on timings again.
Now, delay in the soul charge activation. Again, you can't press buttons at that range against Ivy. Oh, well, yep.
It doesn't have all 4 of the signs, so might live barely. All right, I'll shut up. My bad.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I was gonna put right on it, but
right at guts. Really good stuff. Incendiate able to close that out 2-0 and secure himself a place in, I believe it's winners finals.
Yeah.
Secure himself a place in winners semifinals.
Yeah. And they'll be going up against the winner of Superflydrew and Gold Yorha when they are ready to go. But man, like that was a I think just like a really good like display of how to play against the zoning that is Ivy by Incendiate. They're just playing really patient, and then when they get in range 0, it's bullying from there on. You just gotta not let her do anything.
Playing around the defensive options without allowing the opponent to start to mount too much of a comeback, right? You have to play around the defensive options like the GIs, the REs, the soul charges, but you don't want to leave too much space. You don't want to leave too big of a gap for your opponent to steal back a turn, and that's clinical. That's what we saw from Infectious there. I mean, from Incendiate there. You're right, it was difficult. That's what we saw from Incendiate there, and it was a phenomenal show of how to beat a zoner in a game like Soulcalibur VI.
Yeah, and one thing I kind of want to say too about Soulcalibur is like after again, like been playing more Tekken for my 3D fighter just because of the season going on with that, and Armor King's out. Our Lord and Savior, he's gonna make Tekken 8 great, amazing. Everybody loves Armor King, but like going from that to Soulcalibur, like you do have to play less aggressive at times because that is a huge to changing the pace of the game for when you can condition your opponents. Because if they think you're just going to keep pressing like a lot of buttons and stuff like that, you can use that to your advantage a lot more in this game than you could in like Tekken. Because in that game, you just want to keep pressing the attack because you're at advantage. This one, being patient pays off just as much as being aggressive.
Especially with the wealth of powerful defensive options we have. A lot of auto GIs, which are basically Sabakis in something like Tekken and Virtua Fighter. A generic parry, that's not a low parry, for every single character in GI. And then an armored button, very similar to something like, unfortunately, a rock, paper, scissors with power crutch stapled onto it when it comes to reversal edge. So a lot of good defensive options that don't lose immediately to lower throw like they do in Tekken. So there's a lot of times where you have to wait on your own offense or delay the kind of button you would use on your own offense so that you can beat out your opponent's defensive options. And that's what makes this game feel more like chess than it does like Doom 3 multiplayer on I don't know, Windows 95.
Yeah. Oh, that's a blast from the past. I was kind of more of an Unreal Tournament kid, but yeah, man, it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it? Like you're constantly like on, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like, you're constantly like doing something. You always get looking for something. If you're not doing this, you gotta get ready to do it immediately. This one, it's a lot more, okay, I know I just got them on the counter hit, but I'm gonna wait and see what they do a little bit, because if they do something that's even more punishable in that moment, then I'm gonna get so much more reward off of it for being patient rather than just pressing a button right away.
Yeah.
But Beanie, I was gonna say, I do know a button that people in the chat should press right away. Do you know the button I'm thinking of, perhaps?
What it is, and Cheeto's here to announce it. Me and Cheeto are here to announce that you guys should be pressing the button in the Matcherino. The first thing you have to do is type in !Matcherino into the chat, and then you'll be able to access this webpage in front of you that you're currently seeing. And there's still 30 codes remaining. If you log in with one of the myriad of social medias that you can use using that orange contribute button, including battle.net for you degenerates out there, you can give 25 cents to the Matcherino that goes directly to the players for free.
Indeed, and man, we already discussed it earlier, those codes going down, but hey, every time that prize pot goes up, the stress also goes up just a little bit. And I gotta say, like, this has already been pretty fun, but just imagine if there's more American resets. And just imagine if Beanie was right earlier on the call with Superflydrew, bringing out
the Setsuka.
That's Setsuka. Now,
The
this
white
character...
woman jump scare. All right, let's get into it. This is, I like to call her white woman jump scare because she is the counter hit queen. If there's any character who does the best amount of counter hit damage, or the most consistent counter hit damage, it's a character like Setsuka, where a lot of her better tools that you're going to be using in neutral as zoning buttons, as mid-range and neutral tools, also gain you counter hit crumples that lead to full combos.
And then, of course, Tira on the opposite end. Do you like playing gachas? Tira's the character for you, I tell you what.
We get DOT-CALIBUR'D instead. Oh no, DOT-CALIBUR'D the worst. I don't know if she's gonna try to just like kick them from the lobby and restart, or if we're just gonna miss out on this first match and have to maybe play the dead air, which is okay either way. I think a big thing about kicked them. Okay, that's good. All right, production has told us that they've been kicked, so we'll be getting right back into this match. One of the downsides of some of these older fighting games, because long in the tooth, 7 years old now, is they didn't have the best netcode back then. No rollback netcode, and the lobbies weren't the most polished. They fall apart, they break sometimes. So when that happens, you get into these situations, unfortunately, for online tournaments where you either have to kick the players or do DOT-CALIBUR'D. And well, we're choosing to kick the players so we can get right back into it and see some more of these phenomenal matches, especially because this is the second match of our top 8. We really don't want to miss this one.
No, and of course it does feature one of our top secret bosses with Yorha, so we really can't miss out on that. And it is for the other position for winners finals. So I mean, this is for points now, folks. Like, this is for like a lot of points. It's going to be like huge at this point of the season to get a head start on that and start adding that stuff up as soon as they can, because the competitions only get that much more fierce the closer and closer you get to the end of the season.
Yeah,
here again, while we
these players who are in the winners finals or the winner semis, they cap out at the lowest at 4th place tonight. So any of these players will be able to secure themselves minimum 70 points, but getting that 2nd place, getting that 1st place, 2nd place is very easy to attain once you get into the winners finals. 1st place, the big prize, 175 points and 300 points respectively. Those are huge leads to have when it comes to the points qualifier.
And it's like, for me, I'd be happy just getting 70 points because I can eventually get myself a Chipotle card. But if I were to get 1st place, I can get 2 Chipotle cards, I think.
That's a good way to think about it. Yeah, if you get 1st once and then top 4 another time, that's 3 Chipotle burritos. You're making me really hungry talking about Chipotle. I might have to go over there after we finish commentary tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, instead of making Chipotle, I could also, I guess, save up maybe for some of these other cool prizes. I guess they're okay, like some XFS themed merchandise, some gift shop items or gift cards to the Steam store, the PlayStation store, some really cool neon lights, as well as some gamer supplies for your controllers, your Steam Deck, or I guess Stream Deck, my bad. Which I might need to get myself one of those one of these days. I still just use old analog keyboard and mouse, which apparently, if you have a Stream Deck, streaming is a lot easier. I have no idea if that's actually true, but somebody else can attest to it, I think.
Yeah, I'm a bad streamer. Even if I get one of those, it wouldn't change anything for me, but I think that is a really cool thing to have if you're running a very, very high production show. There's also the webcam, the gaming chair, and of course, if you're really him, her, or they, them, you can win flight, hotel, and admission to the offline XFS event in 2026 at the end of the season. I believe the point shop doesn't actually open until the season ends. So you get to stockpile these points as long as you want and really think about what you're willing to spend them on if you can continually make these top 4s and top 2s.
Now, BD and Brick, I hear the chat asking in chat, I don't play Soulcalibur. I just happened to watch this for random one day, and I can't play Soulcalibur at this level. How am I supposed to get points? Well, let me tell you something, anonymous person in chat. Thank you for your question. Not only do we have monthly tournaments for Soulcalibur VI, we also have tournaments every month for Tekken 8, Street Fighter VI, and Dead or Alive 6 every month for 6 months. So if that is one of those games is your main game, join us back here next month, and next week actually is Dead or Alive 6. You can compete in one of those tournaments and earn points as well. It's all saved to your player basically, and that's how you can earn some more points if you feel so inclined.
And now it looks like hopefully there won't be a loss here. We will be going into our first match of the other winner semifinals, where we will still see the Yorha Tira versus Superflydrew on the Setsuka.
Right, and now of course too on this bigger stage we're going to see a lot of movement here, but I get a feeling the counter hit white woman character, if you like to describe her.
Yeah, white woman jump scare. Yeah, that's what I call
it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to limit a lot of the movement options that Yorha is going to be able to use. And I know Tira's not as...
She's a 4 user. She loves backstepping, not sidestepping. And one of the best options from Setsuka is a counter hit crushing knee. That is her, I believe, her 6K that will catch backstep. And there is that first counter hit, just like I referred to. Oh, trying to go for the reset there. Doesn't work out.
Trying to see it already, like Yorha going for some of those like mood shifts. I'm still not entirely like informed on the whole mood system with Tira, but I do know it's kind of RNG based, and you have to do that taunt to get yourself a shift like there.
That give her taunt in the move, and during those moves, she has a chance to transition. She has 2 different movesets while in Gloomy and Jolly, and once you have 8 transitions, you go into Gloomy Coda, which basically gives you all of her Soul Charge features as long as she's in Gloomy. But you don't have to spend Soul Charge to do it.
Yeah, man, what an adjustment here in that first round there from Yorha. Kind of getting rushed down a little bit by Superfly in that first little opening bit, but then the adjustments and then the lethal hits.
Yeah, the immediate cans after that, after the auto GI, and then taking the commander there, which gives a little bit of life back and forces an unfortunate situation where you're knocked down right into your face. A lot of her most powerful mix-ups happen right there.
And already at 7 here, at 8 now. I think she just needs one more to get yeah. Ooh. Launch the mix-up.
And there is the Gloomy Coda. Now he's got to be scared of any of the potential powerful tools that she has in Soul Charge while not even sitting on meter. Currently, Yorha has no meter to use his normal Soul Charge, but doesn't need it. Instead, gets all of these follow-ups just because he's in Gloomy Coda. Does start the next round in it as well, so this is a big win to be able to start the next round and immediately Gloomy Coda.
Ooh, nice read on the load there, and then the calling out the back roll as well. By finally getting some of these reads down, does still have that 2 bars of meter. Good back or front escape there, my bad. Going for the next set, nice.
Another one of those counter hit crumples. There we go. So many. That is the 3rd or 4th counter hit crumple we've seen lead to potentially big damage here. Another one. This is going to lead to already a quarter life gone. And the big lethal hit. Still sitting on 2 bars of meter. This is a phenomenal position for Drew. Doesn't have to use any of this meter to close out this round potentially. One more hit here. Going for the safe launcher.
2-way to take it. Nice. And man, like, obviously now both our players do have all the resources that they need. But man, Superfly has just been getting the reads in here these last 2 rounds. And like you said, counter hits. She's going to get so much damage off this. And again, Game of Crumble goes for the reset plus frames. Kind of having to press the button there. Catching out the side step there now is Yorha. I got to find a way to get back into Gloomy.
Oh, that was a really good position, right? Able to take some damage and lose Gloomy going into Jolly, which means that now you are in a good position, but beating all of these lows, not allowing him to, beating all of these highs, not allowing him to use the command throw a single time in these last 2 rounds. After being hit with it that first round, said no more of that. I'm not seeing this command throw. Using those powerful wall rising options to beat the command grab.
I just remembered like how much both these characters are kind of slow starters, but when they get going, like you thought that first round was slow. Okay, just wait till round 3. They'll be taking away the entire health bar in 10 seconds. Just get one counter hit in.
And a big thing is we actually didn't even get to talk about Setsuka's mechanic, right? Most characters in Soulcalibur 6 have some mechanic or some extra feature laid on top of their character, just like something like a Blaze Blue or a Guilty Gear. In this game, Setsuka's mechanic is that she has 3 win condition stacks. She has Flower, Moon, and Snowflake, and each one of them is gotten by doing a different thing. Counter hits, whiff punishes, and I can't remember what the last one is to save my life. So
I think it's just throws, ain't it?
Is it throws? Okay, yeah. And for each of those, she has different lethal conditions that she's allowed to access once that is full.
Yeah, I mean, once she got that, it was kind of a speed run from there because the timing was down there from Superfly. It is opting to stay with the Tira here in this next round, but we're going to a stage with a lot less movement here. The ring out potential is a lot stronger, to say the least, here now because we're on the river. I love the stage. It's like classic Soulcalibur, in my opinion.
I'm glad this stage got extended. This stage used to be smaller, by the way. I don't know if you know that. I'm glad it's not small anymore. This stage versus Nightmare and Ivy used to make me want to crash out.
Oh, like, yeah, I mean, as soon as you mention those two characters, every stage is going to suck.
Yeah, except on Stroudsburg. You kind of just hold it there.
Yeah. Gets the mood change there. Wolf just kind of playing.
Yeah, they're playing
the neutral
here, not trying to. I like that because you're losing here, right? If you're Yorha, but your opponent doesn't want to approach even when you're losing, this is the perfect time for you to try to build those stacks. You can just try to taunt over and over until you get to the amount that you want, even if you potentially get a loss for the round. But right now, able to potentially build himself a win here, sidestepping out, trying to use a sidestep A plus B, but instead just getting sidestep A plus B. Ouch.
And then below, man, just staring each other down there for a good 5 seconds. I mean, I definitely would have pressed there at some point and got a counter hit myself if I was trying to be in that situation. But hey, give credit there. And now, of course, Superflydrew getting those resources up to about half on each here, almost to the full moon. Tira also at half here,
getting those
too.
Punishes. That is the best part about getting Setsuka's full moon, is that means your punished lethal hits get so much more powerful, taking almost half life with one combo, and leads to a potential reset there. Really good stuff. I do like that Yorha didn't finish that string there, knowing that it's punishable.
Okay, back to neutral again. Good break on the throw. Not getting get out of it that time here. Counter hit coming in here for Fly, but one more read and then lethal hit. Oh man, okay. Yorha changing it up.
Still has 2 bars of meter, immediately going for a counter hit button, not fishing on it though, not pressing anything. Missing the unfortunate drop there. That was supposed to be a full combo. You get that as long as you transition on that string.
Back to the flight stance again here, going with the low sidestep. Not a huge punish though, just going for the BB. He did it for the resources, just needing one more snowflake and gets full stacks and everything here, but the command grab, a decent chunk of damage there for
and gets a little bit of life back as well. Using that 3-3B 2 times in a row, just trying to call out something there, maybe expecting Superflydrew to press a button or try to crouch through.
Oh, that
might be a whip punish.
Yep.
Yeah, that is going to be it for the second game. Yorha putting on a clinic, showing that no matter how good you are on your main, his secondary might just be enough. Remember, this is one of our secret bosses, and this is his secondary. That's scary. We're not even seeing the 2B out of this player at all, because now he is locked in to the Tira for this final game of the set.
So what you're saying is that this isn't even his final form? Like a JRPG's
this isn't even his
boss?
final form. Yeah, like we could have absolutely seen a 2B here, but not now.
All right, going back in again here. Let's see which stage we're going to. I'm wondering if maybe like a bigger one would be more beneficial.
Somebody
for
forgot to tell this man that he can't use customs, because that is not, I promise that is not a base skin. Okay. That's a white woman jump scare if I've ever seen one, because that's not what I was expecting to see on the screen.
Well, I guess we'll have to just go back into it here. I'm not sure what the read is going to be from TO, or if it's just going to let him play out. But I guess committing to the bit for white woman jump scares, you gotta fully embrace the character sometimes, you know.
Why do you stand in my way? It's gonna be fun to watch.
And it looks like we'll just let him.
Yeah, I think we're just letting it rock.
Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Well, we were saying earlier, smaller stage might be more beneficial for one of the players, and this is about as small as a stage as you can get.
Yeah, especially with those walls closed in. Other than Andy Import, with those walls closed in as they are, this is one of those kinds of stages where it feels really impactful for Setsuka. If you can ever reverse the positioning and get one counter hit, almost always it will lead to a ring out if you have the routing for it. And Superflydrew has that routing on deck.
All right, there's a grab good and started here now for Yorha. Goes for the low. Again, just kind of bowling down Fly, not letting him get the buttons going here. Calling out the GI. Doesn't get a leader there at all. Does get a counter hit there, though. Just the tip of the spear with the sword. What do you call Tira's weapon exactly?
A ring blade. It's a ring blade. Good question. Good question. Now the question is Yorha going to be able to survive these mix-ups from Superflydrew? He does, and takes back plus frames 3 times in a row, going for the 4th. Yorha is really trying to run it down with those A plus Bs.
Patience there by Fly, but okay, one more interaction might do it here. Oh, the side step
out, but not getting the punish. Spending a bar of soul charge here, hoping to close something out that is safe. That's exactly what you want to do there. Going into soul charge to have access to that follow-up to keep yourself safe is an amazing situation. A really smart thing to do.
That's a couple times now where Fly has gotten the sidestep to work, but just not getting the punish. They're just a little too far out or a little late.
Some of those ranges, unfortunately, are just really far. Tira does have a lot of lateral movement. Moves really far when doing some of their strings, right? Pushes extremely far back, but being pushed back towards the wall here. Superflydrew able to get that counter hit confirmed. Is on a pixel when it comes to that guard gauge, so can't really particularly afford to block anything big here. And gets it. Oh, nice, going for the mid. And that might kill. No, not enough. Sidestepping out and getting the BB, keeping it small, keeping it safe. I like the small caliber there. Even though they had popped soul charge, using some of her normal tools, small tools, just to keep themselves safe from something like a reversal edge. That's exactly the things we like to see from these better players.
Indeed, and now almost full resources here for Fly. Gonna use that soul charge to get some spacing. Fly over to go leave it.
Yeah, they don't call him Superflydrew for nothing. And I think that might be a punish. No, slightly delayed, just a little bit too late there. Getting command grab, losing a little bit of life, and giving Tira just a little bit more, pushing her outside of the guts range. Now, most of your standard bread and butter combos won't kill her.
But right back into it here, and this is gonna be a lot of damage as she dashes out here. Again, to counter hit again, another one. Oh, there you go. There's the low. Not the kill though. One more read will do it.
The 1B to close it out. Drew bringing it to a, was that a game 3? That was a game 3 win.
Yeah. And you know what? We haven't seen
beating one of our secret bosses today, putting him into the loser side.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of those 1Bs from Flydrew at all in that set, and then they just came out in the clutch moment there. I know, like, that's a really good button, but if you use it too much, obviously really punishable if you throw it out and it gets whiffed or anything like that. So
they're extremely whip punishable. I believe only -14 on block, -16 on block. Not extremely punishable, especially by a character like Tira, whose wall rising B is, I think, like I-18. So you don't get a giant punish on it. But using it consistently, those wall rising Ks will start to stack up because Tira does have good frames on those. Luckily, Drew using it in a clutch moment where it mattered and closed out a round, knowing that a lot of those situations at the end of rounds, Yorha was fine with statue blocking. We saw it in the first game where they stood there versus each other in that last round situation on the first game and just, nope, neither one of us are moving. I'm going to do this. And then a 2K came out to close out that first round.
Yeah, that's very Virtua Fighter-esque too as well. Like, if you just start stand guarding like that, you can get blown up pretty easily, but sometimes that is the right option. It's all mind games at that point. And again, with the bracket, that means it's going to be Flydrew versus Incendiate in our winners final here. Now, I'm not sure, are we going to show any matches here in the losers side? Looks like we might have one. And I think after that one here, we'll take a quick break for our chat members here. But if I'm looking at that, yep, okay, so we're going to look at Infectious versus Ghost, it looks like.
Infectious versus Ghost, and then we are also waiting on the other side of that, it's Yorha versus Toothcake. I don't think we're going to see that. We'll only see the one match, but that means we get a little more of this action before we cut to a break for winners finals.
Indeed, and man, like, these points are going to start adding up for these players here. So the settings, I mean, the placing already means that they're gonna get like a decent chunk of points, and they keep coming on back here. They keep getting high ranks like this. Those 1,800 points are gonna get there pretty quickly. Just gotta keep grinding like this.
Yeah, if you can stay in contention, if you can stay in this top 2 every week and potentially make yourself the full 1,800, the full 6-week winner, you get a full all-expense paid trip or room, board, and entry to the offline for XFS offline showdown.
Yep, and there we go. Here we go.
So far at our top 8, we had Superflydrew defeating Yorha, Incendiate defeating Infectious, Ghost defeating Sozo Lion, which was another one of our final bosses. Wow, another one of our showdown bosses. Toothcake beating Grolix.
And too bad we didn't see Grolix at all on the stream, but it looks like it was a 2-1, so that looks like it was a pretty close set. But yeah, we had a lot of extreme bosses here in this set, so the fact that we have one out so early just shows like the level of competition they've got going on now. But hey, next we got Infectious versus Ghosts on the stream here. Now another one of our, wait, no, this is 2 extreme bosses.
Yeah, 2 extreme bosses. Ghost and Infectious are both extreme bosses for Soulcalibur VI, correct? And right now, this is the battle, this is the boss battle that would canonically happen in the game. Did you know that it's canonical that Ivy and 2B fight?
Considering the 2 fan service characters, yes, I'm not surprised they made them go up against each other.
All right.
I mean, I get the idea.
Who's stronger canonically?
Yeah.
Let's see who has more plot.
Now, see, that is a good question. We all want to figure that out. But hey,
really getting the ring out to retort, not getting a perfect, but getting a ring out close enough. Really good stuff there from Ghost fighting back.
Yeah, and we're gonna see like another kind of like clash of styles here, because obviously not just the characters being so different. Like both of these players have got like a very different play style, with Ghost being very aggressive and rushdown orientated, and Infectious kind of does the best of both worlds, but obviously opting kind of more for the range game plan here, because if 2B can't get within the mid range, stuff like that can happen.
That was really fucked up. I didn't want to say it. I really didn't want to use a swear word, but I have no better way to describe how messed up that situation was. You whiff near the ring edge, she's able to full walk back and immediately get a ring out that you cannot break. Is messed up.
I mean, we did say earlier that this character was degenerate, but I mean, it just bears repeating, because it will happen again, I'm pretty sure, at some point tonight.
This is such a fast match. As we speak, immediately another round on the board. We are going to a final round situation between Ghost and Infectious for this first game. Currently, it looks like Infectious able to take advantage of some of the things that Ghost had put on the table, but that unblockable being ducked and immediately whip punished. Ghost able to build himself some offense here.
And again, 2 bars of butter. There's one being used there by Infectious. Again, going back to full screen. That's exactly where he wants to play. But the aggression stance getting on in. Jumps over the break attack, and that's going to be a punish.
You love to see it. That was really smart placement of movement. Using the vertical movement and then jumping to be able to get away, creating a whiff situation, still having a bar meter to play with, but taking the immediate Oki with the 6-6K to close out the first game. Ghost on his way to securing himself maybe a third or a 4th place spot instead of 5th. You know, that's not big potential for points.
Like, blinking you missing, man. Like you said, that set or round went by so fast because the aggression was on point. And then, of course, the ring outs did play a factor into that. Well, luckily for our players, we won't have maybe as many ring outs on this stage here, but it is a possibility. But
yeah, only one side ring out, and both players, bright side, start with their right and left, respectively, to one ring edge, and then the other side to the wall, right? You have to sidestep to try to reverse that ring fortune, but right now, it looks like instead we're going for the backstep each. Able to take advantage of that immediately is Infectious, kind of calling out some of that lateral movement, but immediately retorting back from Ghost. Both these players are playing so fast, it's hard to analyze. I like the anti-air.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that 2B does have that great sword, like, full screen attack that she can throw out if you get a little too chippy in the zoning.
Yeah, the 4-4B is a phenomenal tool to beat a character like Ivy, but right now, actually just winning these rounds that he wins with mostly just being aggressive, being the rushdown, being the aggressor. I think 2B has good anti-zoning tools, but isn't necessarily trying to use them here as Ghost. Ghost is trying to go on the offensive and keep Ivy in situations where she's never really allowed to play that range game. Really good stuff. This is almost potentially another perfect. Oh my goodness. Ghost is running it down.
Someone turned on the maximum overdrive setting because, man, he is just rushing down Infectious, who's been kind of more known for playing like a kind of slower game. But, man, Ghost wants to just get back into the winner's side and get the tournament reset because they are speed running this right now. Infectious finally kind of slowing it down now here, back to the main range that she wants to play at, but there's the launch, there's some damage, 2 bars of butter, but the side roll again, man, Ghost is just making all the reads right now. Opting to go for Soul Charge to kind of slow down the pace again here. Really needs
still
it.
has 1 bar of meter, spinning it immediately on the wake up sidestep CE. Really good situation there. Knowing that that is one of the more powerful Ivy buttons on people's wake up, calling it out, making that Yomi level 1 look useless. Going for the throw, only slightly too early, but still able to close it out. Ghost plays so fast.
Man, someone turn on the afterburners on Tupi's nets because, like, that was just, again, another blankety and miss it round there because you get in.
That we had Sonic the Hedgehog on the sticks. I had no idea that we're out here just spin dashing at people. That was insanely fast, very frenetic. The pace that both of those players wanted to play at was at least matched, but it really felt like the damage disparity that was given and gotten was on the side of Ghost. Ghost was putting in more damage on each of those interactions that happened so quickly.
You know what's scary? I think that second game went faster than the first, and the first one had like 2 ring outs.
Yep, there was like health bars that basically were deleted that never happened, but in that second game, Ghost did the exact same thing right back with a series of perfects into that final round that just felt so dominant. Maybe there was some reads or some sort of a tell that Infectious had given away to Ghost, but he took advantage of it, and that is the mark of a good player, and that's why both of those players are some of our extreme bosses.
Indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, Beanie, after that set, I might need like a quick little water break or a little breather. We're going to take maybe like a 5-minute break here before we get started with the winners finals and then eventually the losers finals as well here. So our TO can also take a quick break here, make sure everybody's all ready to go for the finals. But before that here, we'll give a quick shout again to our Matcherino. It is in the chat there as well. So if you want to use that time on the break here, get some water, redeem those Matcherino codes, and then we will be right back with the final matches of the tournament. Now, Beanie, I recommend getting hydrated because I have a feeling the hype is going to pop off.
Stay hydrated, stay safe, get a snack, and come right back. That was bars.
And you just make it like a music label.
And we are back with episode Season 1 Soulcalibur VI for XFS. We are now in our last 4 matches. We're on the home stretch. Same 2 commentators, Brickman back here with me, BeanieThuggish, and we have a couple of things to talk about before we grab these players, get them in here, and get everything all situated. Mostly the point system. Remember, guys, this is a circuit, this is a series, this is a long game, and these people right now, these last 4, are playing for these prizes with the point system. Anything 7th place and up, 1 point. 7th place, 17th and under, 1 point. 9th through 16th, you get the 5. Top 8 is where you start getting the major chunks of points. 7th, 25, 50, 4th, 70, and then 1 through 3, the big points, 100, 175, and 300 respectively. A lot of points, and at the end of the season, you'll use the points accumulated from these free brackets that you're hopefully playing in whatever game you see fit to redeem some of the prizes we saw on the last slide.
I tell you what, this is a lot of cheddar on the line right now, and we have got some amazing prizes, as you can see. Like, look at the top right there. If you win one of these tournaments tonight, you get like that entire yeah, you have that entire top row as options for yourself. Now, obviously, can't use them yet. The black market for XFS will go live at the end of the season, which will be 6 months of amazing fighting game action. Not only, again, is it just Soulcalibur, we do also have monthly tournaments for Dead or Alive 6, Street Fighter 6, and Tekken 8. So keep an eye out for those tournaments here. If you feel like you want to join and start earning those points, we'll have more information for you. But tonight, man, like you said, Beanie, top 4, we're looking at 70+ points for every player who's still left here. And if they keep this going here, there's our bracket. You can see these players will start earning those points and get like a nice lead and get closer and closer to some of those amazing rewards at the very end of the season. And man, I tell you, Beanie, some of those things look so awesome.
Absolutely. And not to mention that currently we're looking at our last 4 competitors in Superflydrew, Incendiate, Ghost, and Toothcake. All phenomenal players, all very clearly proven their mettle today. Not only are they fighting for those points, but they are also fighting for that crowd-funded Matcherino. That is one of the things that immediately keeps these players going. Always starting off with the $50 crowdfunding in the pot. But the rest of it is up to you, the viewers, using those Matcherino codes and completing the sponsor quest to get those players just a little bit of extra money. I believe we're going to be getting into our winner's competition, which will be first to 3.
Indeed, and also including with those Matcherino links, folks, not only are they playing for the winning pot here, since this is for top 3 here in these next 2 sets, they're also competing for a title at our XFS Xtreme Boss title. Anytime you get a top 3. Yeah, he did. The customization. Flydrew, we got to get the belt on that guy a little bit, I guess, here, because someone's got to teach him. But as I was saying, like, top 3 for XFS tournaments, if you get a top 3 in any of our tournaments, you get the Xtreme Boss title within our community. Honestly, very prestigious, if you ask me.
Yeah, that means Drew is already extremely close. The other 3 players are all already our Xtreme Bosses. So let's see if we're crowning a new Xtreme Boss today, or if we're crowning the highest title of 300 points for one of these competitors. Right now, it looks like Superflydrew has a relatively big lead, but having to contend with that range from Geralt and getting back thrown immediately into the wall here, not a particularly good position to be in.
Yeah, one thing that Fly is going to have to compete with in this setup here, Geralt is just going to do this here, right here. Going to bully, going to really, like, demand or control the pace of the game. We saw Fly when he was able to slow down the pace of the match against his last opponent. He was able to really focus on getting those resources up and then getting those counter hits in. Here, though, Incendiate is just going to say, nah, I'm actually just going to let you not do anything. We'll see how that goes for you.
Yeah, not seeing too many hits in neutral, or not seeing enough punishes, right? Which means we don't get to see these stacks start to fill up where Setsuke gets significantly more powerful. This is where all she gets to do is take those small counter hits that come off of her normal small caliber. And it's enough when it works for a player as a stout as Incendiate. It's very hard to get those.
So either get really small caliber to get damage, or you have to make those big reads. Got one, but unfortunately there was just too much of a life lead there in Incendiate's favor. Now she does have 2 of the resources built up, The last one being throws that she needs to grab. And again, sidestep here, but no punish again. We saw that a couple times already here tonight.
Step out. I don't think that's going to wall here. It won't, but it will push towards the wall, which means now we're in a one-guess situation for Superflydrew. Having to spin that second bar of meter here feels very unfortunate, and now just kind of sitting there waiting for an option and walking around, taking those frames and making something with them to force out an option from Superflydrew, calling it out on the timing after. I think people do forget about how timing-based 3D fighters are in comparison to other games. Sometimes letting your opponent, you know, hang themselves out to dry, try to do something on the normal timing they were going for, taking those side steps instead, and then killing them for it after is really strong.
It's huge. I mean, as we saw, Incendiate bullied Superflydrew down those first 2 rounds, and then as soon as they tried to figure it out with those guard impact reversals, Incendiate slowed it down immediately. Fly, what do you have that saved on default or something like that? Okay. Anyway,
again.
Yeah, it's got to be. But anyway, I was gonna say, like, Incendiate, when they wanted to slow it down and start whittling those defenses down by being patient as well, they could easily do that. And going to be a tall hill to climb here for Superflydrew, but hey, it is first to 3, not first to 2, so they have a chance.
Taking that first front throw, but able to check out here after the armor, delaying the button to beat armor, really smart there. Trying to go for another throw, unfortunately right outside of the range. Sidestepping out, but being clipped anyway. The 3A into the back throw, pushing towards the other side of the stage here.
2A there, but immediately, again, to Incendiate, anytime that Flydrew has been able to get any kind of offense going, Incendiate has just shut it down immediately.
Shutting it down with the throw. 2As, the 2Bs, the throws, going for all of these small caliber options that just shut down bigger options from Superflydrew, not really allowing him to get anything impactful started. Having to play a small caliber game, but really not committing to it here. I think Setsuka is the kind of character that can play small caliber really well. We're just not seeing it out of Superflydrew just yet.
No, needed to make those big reads there because it's just been nothing but a bully fest here for Incendiate. And they're again getting forced up to the wall. Guessed wrong. And look at this damage here now. One more read will do it here, I think.
Gets a punish, very unfortunate, but gets a whole lot of meter for this reversal edge. Ducking under it with the forward. Usually we only see it as a rock, paper, scissors, but you can also choose movement options in reversal edge. Forward, back, or down. And he chose forward to duck under the highs. All highs are the A's in reversal edge.
Indeed, and now here again, I think Fly trying to slow it down. Again, like, get one hit and Incendiate really challenges it. It's like, are you sure it's your turn? Are you positive it's your turn? And now finally we see
3 counter hits in a row, which means now maybe we're finally seeing some sort of timing adjustment for Drew, or oh my god! As I speak, immediately going for just turning off the small caliber and turning up the heat, literally getting a big unblockable there and just running it down, being aggressive, trying to close out the game as fast as possible before Drew can start to adjust. But taking those adjustments to the bank, getting this first round finally around on the board for him. Let's see if he can start to, use this momentum to keep everything going.
And Drew called out the aggression at the end of that round here, but here Incendiate backed up and then predicted that he was trying to look for the aggression again. Just like that, look at that health lead already within 15 seconds to the start of the round. It's not looking good for Fly. He does have
happening here. I love it. We're seeing these 2Ks, 2As, AAs back to back, trying to do something a little bigger there and getting punished for it. This is the exact situation where I think Superflydrew can start to bring it back. Just needs one more of these small caliber options, but not letting him have it, forcing him to have to maybe spin bar back. Let's see what we're gonna see here. And there it is, the 2K, the ultimate small caliber closeout option.
And he had it. Fly just needed one more, but I think he got so conditioned to constantly getting bullied by those small buttons that he was expecting just like an AA or a BB. And then the 2K, like you said, like it's classic down 4 in Tekken. Like, you just do it to end the round and nobody ever is ready for it because they're just still so wired into other moves that they gotta watch out for.
The mental stack of 3D fighters is powerful. Sometimes you can get away with the most simple option to close out a game, knowing that there's such small amounts of time to think about the option that's going to be coming to you. Do you jam it in with a defensive option and go for something like a parry, a GI, a reversal edge to try to close out their final option? Or do you just statue block to guess for the AA or BB? And when that happens, sometimes the 2K will close it out. Drew was starting to look like he figured something out in that last game, though. So I don't know if the lack of walls will slow down his momentum, or maybe he can keep it going.
Definitely when Drew was able to kind of slow down the pace, he was able to. That's sometimes just DOT-CALIBUR'D. You can't do too much about it, unfortunately. There, and now you can kind of see like slowing it down, being a little bit more patient. Again, playing the small caliber, getting that started here, being a lot more respectful of Incendiate's offense. There's the RE there. As I say that though,
And getting that, that's why I call her White Woman Jump Scare. That was a huge counter hit confirmed, getting it and building a big lead here. I think even with the 4-4 BB, still has just a little bit of a life lead here. Just has to continue to play small and might be able to close out this first round of game 3.
Again, playing at the range that I think Seska kind of wants to be at there. One more hit will do it. 2A, just slightly late on it.
The other side might do it. If you don't, you Kimmy, and that is going to take it. Not you Kimmying and giving Incendiate the spot he needs to be able to close out that first round.
He was so close there too. It just honestly, he had the sidestep. He had it 2A, was just slightly late on it, and that led to the opportunity for Incendiate, and that's all that he needed to take it. Now, we'll have to see here if Fly can just make that last adjustment here. Finally getting some of that bigger stuff that Seska needs to get a lot of that damage, but again, as soon as it happens, Incendiate takes the momentum back. Slowing it down here again, the soul charge, but
trying to immediately check out, getting called out at the end, towards the end of that soul charge, but still has one more potential mix-up. Yeah, jumping over, does not want to deal with the 4 AAA, or the 1 AAA. I was thinking of Huang. And using the forward push, that 8A plus be able to close out the round number 2. Incendiate winning all of these rounds on a dime. Very little HP left, but able to just clutch them up.
Just needs to make that one read. Unfortunately, though, Incendiate making the big read instead. They're taking away almost 50% of the health there. Caught the step, though. Finally, a break there for Drew. Just a matter of actually closing out the round here. That is the big question that we need to figure out. Again, small caliber here from Incendiate. The grab, finally a break here.
Until he
Trying to go for something big there. Narrowly doesn't get whip punish, but able to make something off of it afterwards. But this could be enough to kill. It is when you are in soul charge, you get that full string because you are technically a monster. You're the perfect thing that Geralt is here to slay, and slay he did. Incendiate is moving his way into grand finals winner's side.
What a showcase of just how good that character can be. Like you said, all-rounder. The playstyles constantly went back and forth with Incendiate. He was playing a bully, then he'd slow it down, play the range game, and then he'd just do the big, dumb, stupid Soulcalibur stuff that you can also do in this game, because this game is kind of insane sometimes, to say the least.
Yeah, that is the beauty of the all-rounders in this game, and most of the characters, if you pilot them well, is you can pump the brakes when necessary, and you can really throttle on that gas to create powerful offensive sequences when necessary.
Absolutely. And again, like it was deceptively close. Like Flydrew was making the reads. It was just they couldn't get that last hit to take the round. And that just kind of led, I think, like you said, to the mental stack, because it's like they're so close all the time to get that round. It's just one read, and it's usually just something, they have the right option, and they're just slightly delayed or late on the response, and that led to the 3-0 there at the very end.
Those
but of
apprehensive endings, right, where you're being a little too patient and giving your opponent more time to think, more time to strategize, sometimes is just enough for them to be able to close it out versus you.
Indeed. But of course, that was just winners finals, so Fly will be going down to the losers final to face the winner here of our next match, which is going to be Toothcake and Ghost. Now, Toothcake was somebody we saw earlier in the tournament tonight. I think it was Toothcake versus Infectious. They put on like a really good clinic of how to play like a pretty like cerebral Taki, I want to say, because there was a lot of adjustments they were making in little sets to constantly get in on their opponents, mix them up.
And that's how they made it this far. Yeah, definitely a phenomenal player. I think one of the smarter players or more methodical players on Taki, right? You see a lot of Takis expecting to use the most common options, using a lot of her tools that lead to the opponent understanding how to play through the matchup. This is one of those players who wants to use the trickier things, going for the win rolls, going for the sidestep 2-2Ks. But did I just see Toothcake on Cassandra?
Oh, it's my girl, Beanie. Other than Hilda.
Greek frame train. I like to call her the Greek frame train. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Right? She's a big fan of jamming plus frames at you.
if we're not plus, we're losing. So we've always got to be plus. Unfortunately, looks like we're going back here.
Yeah, it looks like we are losing connection and being forced to go into kicking both the players so we can get back into this lobby and get it started all over again. We don't want to have any DOT-CALIBUR'D situations for our top 4.
No, I guess Cass is just too awesome, you know. Just had to reset it, make sure everybody is ready, and then we'll go back in.
To the astral plane, like we're in astral chaos because of her. Thanks, Cassandra. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, hey man. It's all for the love of her sister. It's justified, completely justified. So, whatever it takes to get her back, it's what she'll say. But you know what? I'm excited to finally see it, Cass. And again, Toothcake. I wouldn't say Taki and Cassandra are close in playstyle, so it's kind of odd to see Toothcake.
This is two different styles of rushdown character. One more execution heavy, and the other more read heavy. Right? She does have a lot of those Greek things that allow her to play the read game, but you're mostly just using her as plus frame central. And I think that versus a player like Ghost, that might be really good because Ghost has been known in all of the matches we've seen him so far to be the aggressor, to be the rushdown sort of player. So matching that pace instead of getting outpaced might be exactly what you need here.
Yeah, I will think here too. Ghost is a very aggressive player in 2B in general, and with Cassandra, you gotta play aggressive. So we're gonna see some. It's gonna be like those fights you see in nature documentaries where it's just two rams headbutting each other. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a little longer to see that again here because DOT-CALIBUR'D is the thing.
Yeah, these players are they're just not being agreed with. The matchmaking does not want these two players to be fighting. This is not a fated battle.
Oh, I guess not. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're not gonna shy away from it. So we'll get them on stream, no matter how long it takes. But Okubo Plith, as we like to say, but he's no longer.
Unfortunately, he's no longer part of the team. So we can't say Nakatsu, please, either, because Nakatsu is not part of the team either.
Yeah. You know. Although, to be fair, Okubo over on the Grand Blue community sounds like they're having a grand old time over there. It's almost kind of like Okubo is a buff producer who's pretty based.
Did you just say a buff producer? Did you know that he's buff?
Oh yeah,
he's kind of jacked. He's a little red.
So the first time I saw Setsuka CE tonight, the first thing I thought of was not that, oh, that's a really cool looking CE. I thought of that mod where somebody put the buff Okubo meme where he's just like that, and they modded it into like the background. Yeah,
the mural.
That's the first thing I thought of when I thought I'd see. It's like, oh yeah, Okubo was buff. He was an awesome man.
I saw someone make a nightmare custom that was Okubo. I was like, that's powerful. That's really cool because in his Twitter picture he's holding Soul Edge. So I'm like, oh, that's genius.
That's just Okubo canon. So he just has the power of nightmare naturally. But okay, third time's the charm, as they like to say. And I just realized here too, this is for top 3. So whoever wins this does secure
some big points.
The points and the title of Xtreme Boss as well here. So even if you don't
Toothcake as an Xtreme Boss.
Yeah, even if you don't get like all 300 points, you do get the title guaranteed, which means we're gonna have at least 2 new Xtreme Bosses today, I think.
This is scary. Very it might be the lobby. You might have to close the entire lobby and reopen it if we're not letting this rock. This lobby might have to be, you might have to kick the players and disband. It might be bugged lobby. My favorite Soulcalibur feature. 7 years in, happy birthday to Soulcalibur VI.
Some things never change. I tell you though, man, with how much money Tekken 8 is making, the least they can go do is just implement some rollback in this game, man. Come on, it's 7th anniversary.
I think that this game, gameplay-wise, is phenomenal, and there's not a lot that needs to be changed. I think if we're just doing a modern re-release, right, where they do it again just for the new Xbox, new PlayStation, and a re-release for PC, give us updated lobbies, give us rollback netcode, and give us quick match. That's all we need, and this game will survive another 10 years. We don't even need a Soulcalibur 7. As much as people want it, we don't particularly need it. This roster is great. The community is small but mighty, and as you can tell, there is a lot of life left in the competitive player base.
Dude, there is like
don't
nothing.
Say that we don't need a 7. That was crazy.
We don't.
Listen,
I love Soulcalibur, and 6 is like the best one we've gotten. Do you trust them to make a better one? I don't. Just fix the one we have.
I was gonna say with the team that they have now.
Bandai Namco? I don't.
No. Yeah, we need Okubo back.
By the way, you guys, I'm M333. Hi, I'm the TO for tonight doing the stream. We actually remade the room. This is like the third time I kicked them out and remade the room. So I don't think Calibur wants us to see it. We could try again after this, but you know, I don't want to delay them, you know, even more. But
You gotta unfortunately keep the bracket moving. I respect it.
yeah,
Yep.
we gotta keep the bracket moving. Cause on the East Coast, it's about to be 11. That's crazy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
and we do have a
literally.
player in our winners finals sitting in, or grand finals winner's side on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yep. I tell you, man, like the NA scenes for Soulcalibur, it's either you're from New York or you're from California. There is no in between. I mean, there is, but the big scenes are those two, and
Hey, what about
there's nothing else really.
Texas? That's crazy.
Yeah, Texas was pretty big. Yeah, there was a lot of really good players that had moved to Texas. Party Wolf was here for a while. Zephikai was here twice a day. Raz Talk. A lot of strong players coming out of Houston, Dallas, and even a few out of the San Antonio area.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I bullied my locals into no longer playing the game, so there was none here. I didn't mean to bully them. I was trying to teach them.
I've been trying to get people to play more in South Dakota, and there are some in Minnesota who play it, but obviously in the Midwest, it's kind of Iowa as the main area, because I mean, like, Ron the Tryhard, obviously. He's kind of like the big Iowa
Lee,
player
yeah.
there. Yeah, but like everybody else in the Midwest, it's kind of all centralized for Soulcalibur around Iowa. Even if they do have, like, Combo Breaker from Chicago, like, there's other players in that area that don't live in that, so... It's a cool scene to like know, like, at least with Soulcalibur, like NA is kind of like one of the best, honestly. It's EU and NA, honestly.
Japan is actually very strong. We just don't see them out very often.
Yeah, because mostly they're playing like Tekken more often. But I mean, the Soulcalibur players who are there, insane. Like
Oh, unfortunate.
That
like the
is
number
crazy.
yeah, DOT-CALIBUR'D.
DOT-CALIBUR'D once more, unfortunately. So, due to technical difficulties with an old game for old people, we won't be seeing our losers semifinals, but we'll hopefully be giving you guys some more action right after. Remember, these players are still playing for their lion's share of points and their lion's share of what other resource are they fighting for right now, Mr. Brickman?
The title of Xtreme Fighter Boss for every top 3 finish. And in addition to that, our share of the pot with the winner's pot that also has some Matcherino codes.
There
Now,
is
folks,
still some codes remaining. Correct.
Yeah.
Hit exclamation point Matcherino in the chat. Look, I'm not trying to dox you guys, but there's 49 of y'all in here. All right, 49 people in here, and there's 30-ish codes remaining. I think if we 25 codes, I think if we do some math, if half of you can click a code who haven't yet, it almost seems like we can finish off those codes tonight. If we're not gonna do it for me, for the commentator, I don't get any of it. Do it for the players and do it for Soulcalibur VI's 7th birthday. You'll never be able to say that you put money into a Matcherino on Soulcalibur's 7th birthday if you don't do it today.
absolutely.
No, Beanie,
Like,
it's
and
time to
again-
dox them though, for real. We're about to start
Yeah, I'm gonna
listing
find
the
all your
names.
IP addresses and I'm gonna start one at a time just shouting them.
And then
Shouting your city and your address like immediately, like this is an old Call of Duty lobby.
and then you gotta be careful because
Imagine.
Mia will find you and she has the belt. She
Yeah,
will
Mia
let
has
you
the
know.
belt.
I do.
And she's not gonna spank you in a way that you're gonna like it.
That's
No, sir.
crazy. But by the way, thank you, Yorha, Xavier, Foughton, Tomberry Shade, Revan, Crawley, Abby Hilton, Ryan, Wolfboy Yugo, Bad Bad Kitty, Drew, Dragonfly, Sozo, KONMAI, Beanie, Brickman, myself, I Terror, Donnell, Eternal Dragon, Eli, Tencent, Ryu, that's a crazy name, and Change Shift.
Oh man, that is a game. That is a crazy name.
So if you don't see your name in here, hold on, where's my soundboard?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Belt immediately.
it's not pleasant in the slightest. Like,
Don't
even
do
Ivy
this.
kind of cringes at it.
I am under the weather today. Okay, oh, that's crazy. I'm under the weather today, so these guys are killing it on the mic, but I will come on here again and belt everybody if these codes are not redeemed. So, You have, what, 20 minutes? There's 43 people in here. How many codes left, you guys?
There is 23 codes remaining and 40 people, half of the chat.
Don't do this.
I feel like the math can math, people. You can't say the math ain't mathin' because the math is mathin'. And it all points to some people getting belted for not doing the part.
And it's honestly, I didn't even know it was the 7th anniversary today until after we made the schedule. Because we made the schedule for the tournament like months ago, like in the summer. So this is kind of perfect that we actually got to host something on the 7th anniversary, which is crazy. Are we gonna get to see something? We can try. Right now it's 1-1. Let's everyone pray. Hold your hands, close your eyes, pray to
everyone
Jesus.
everyone give Soulcalibur VI netcode your energy. Put your hands in the air like you're trying to spirit bomb for Goku right now. You are helping Soulcalibur VI not spirit bomb us off the face of the planet. Put your hands in the air, give this game your energy, and we will make it into this game. I'm currently doing it. Mia can vouch that my hands are in the air. She can see my camera at all points in time.
I can't see you right now, but
let's hope that it works, because my hands are in there. I hope y'all's are too, because I want to see some more sick Soulcalibur action. Not enough of you gave
we didn't have
servers your
enough
energy.
players. Dang.
Yeah, maybe the server just needs an exorcist. Drew might be onto something.
And to add to that, we need crossplay in the next game or in the next update, please.
Crossplay, rollback, working lobbies, and quick play. Thank you. I forgot about crossplay.
And multiple matches inside of a lobby, so you don't have to wait.
You know, if they do that, the lobbies are more likely to break. To be fair, this is exactly what you know. Like,
it's already kind of iffy as it is.
Never mind. So. Too much to ask for?
This game was made on like a Wendy's 4 budget and a shoestring. So.
And it's still sold well, but yeah, apparently not making all the money is enough to say, we don't need more of it. You don't need rollback netcode, guys. Just keep playing offline with all your buddies, right?
Yeah, we'll pay you guys in McDonald's cheeseburgers and one offline event sponsored by us that we had to cancel for COVID. But I hope the game makes trillions of dollars.
That's crazy.
Not even like McDonald's cheeseburgers. They couldn't even get the Culver's cheeseburgers, man. I tell you what, it's so disappointing. If it was a Culver's cheeseburger,
I didn't say McDoubles. This is just one piece of meat, one piece of cheese.
Not even a McChicken, man.
Dang,
not even a McChicken, exactly. Oh, if you're a real OG and you know the old OG secret menu for McDonald's, the McGangbang.
The McGangbang.
You know what we need to do? We just need to go to the servers for Soulcalibur VI and then inject it with some McDonald's Sprite. That'll electrify it up right quick.
You're right. Yeah, it's spicy enough that it'll keep the server going for another 10 years, for sure. Yeah, like McDonald's Sprite might be the spiciest Sprite in the universe.
I don't know why, but there was one day I was drinking it. All right, accidentally dropped my phone in the Sprite. Motherfucker started charging. Oh, it started charging.
That's
Someone
crazy.
once made me like laugh while I was drinking McDonald's Sprite. I swear to you, I couldn't smell for the next 2 weeks because it came out of my nose. I couldn't smell. There was so much foam in my nose that day for like at least another 6 hours. I was like, I can't smell. Do I have COVID? And it's like, nope, it was McDonald's Sprite attacking your nose hair.
Oh man. If you ever need something to open up the sinuses, you get yourself a bottle or a bowl of Shin Ramen and McDonald's Sprite, and there you go.
Yep, you're done. You're gonna be clear for the rest. You're gonna speak clearer than you ever have. You had sinus, not anymore. You're no longer the nasally speaker you thought you were.
You'll have a radio voice like mine. You're like, yes, I drank Shin Ramen broth and then some McDonald's Sprite. Yes. But yeah, that's if you ever want to do that, that's how you gotta do it. You gotta ingest the Sprite.
That's crazy, but I just wanted to make sure that we thank you guys too. Like, thank you competitors and spectators for being here to watch this stream. I know XFS is kind of an emerging name. You have reputable names like WNF and what else? Team DEUS and Team Faustian? I don't know, there's a lot of reputable names, and TNS too. I know they have something coming up in November. But we really appreciate you guys for supporting XFS at our event. So don't forget to support all of your local caliber scenes. There will be no update or no 7 if we don't have support, so keep it up. and keep looking for ways to like enter tourneys and do streams and whatnot, because all of your support matters. So thank you for watching the stream, redeeming codes and all of that. We appreciate it. Now I'm leaving, getting off the mic because I'm sweating. So bye. Thanks for listening to me.
Thank you, Mia, for hosting. And we're hoping that we'll be able to get the next set of players into the lobby very soon here for our losers finals. Hopefully there'll be no more breaks, no more dead air cutting by your phenomenal commentators who have done a great job so far of breaking the dead air. So everyone give your commentators a round of applause. Give yourselves a pat on the back and a round of applause for sticking it out with us this long. And also thank the competitors for phenomenal matches so far.
Indeed. Looks like we do have the next match set here. It is Ghost taking it 2-1 over Toothcake. Man, that sounds like it was a really close set then. We gotta get a run back one of these days where we can watch it all in full. But congratulations now to Ghost, who is now officially an XFS Extreme Boss, and will be getting that many more points here in the XFS season. Man, I tell you, that's gonna feel really good down the season when you look back and see yourself like where you started. You might be getting even more points down the line, and again, that's gonna add up so fast with these results.
Yeah, that is one of the more powerful things about making it further, is getting the big points to be able to secure yourself some of the more phenomenal prizes. We have 3 competitors remaining: Ghost, Superflydrew, and Incendiate. All have played phenomenal today. Ghost came into the top 8 on loser side and has ran it all the way through back to the losers finals. But Drew, staying on the winner's side the entire time up until playing against Incendiate. 3-0 sweep. Can he make it back for a run back?
Now, looking at the bracket here in the past, so with Ghost, the person who sent them down to the loser side here, wait, why am I not finding it here? Where was it at? Oh, wait, no, wait. Huh, I can't find who sent Ghost down to losers here. Oh, it was Yorha, my bad. Yorha was the one who sent down Ghost, and then that was the one back to the winner's corner. Yeah.
Match, yes. That was the mirror match 2B we saw with the custom. That wasn't supposed to be a custom smile.
And then, of course, like, that was actually a deceptively close 0-2. Really back and forth. So, again, just going all the way through the losers bracket, that's a lot to play in this game. And, like, managing to get to the losers final in itself is pretty huge. But, I mean, hey, if they make the right reads here, Superflydrew, like, I could go either way if I'm being honest between these two players.
Yeah, I think that the style of play Superflydrew has used so far seems to be a fit for the pacing of Ghost, but the bigger damage is more than likely on the side of 2B. So this is going to be one of those character matchups where it's mostly about who can get those big offensive leads started first and who can hold.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
And then we'll get loaded in here as soon as we can. And again, fingers crossed, give the Spirit Bomb energy to the servers here so we don't have more DOT-CALIBUR'D. Man, I'm excited to see these characters and
actually using a normal costume. I mean, it's
finally.
It's a freaky costume, but it's a normal in-the-game costume. I don't know what they were thinking designing all the ropes and stuff. I'm not gonna question.
It is kind of a weird design choice considering that's like not at all close to what her like normal look is, but whatever. Some people are into that, I guess. It's not me, but somebody out there is.
Flowers bloom.
And we're on the smallest stage in the game. Ringouts can be a factor, especially with the way that 2B decides to play. This is one of those characters where if you're at the wrong position in the ring and you get lethal hit, you might just die from most spots on the screen.
We're starting off pretty slow, actually, all things considered here. Well, as I say that, here we go, immediately ramping it up here, and now, like you said, ring out's already a factor here. You gotta be really careful here if you're Superflydrew. Good sidestep
that is
and
a
throw.
lot of damage. Able to get a punish here, taking that because they did duck into the mid here. The 1B after. I like the 4-4-8 backstab.
Again, aggression stance here again. Oh, the jump over. Probably going for a ring out there. Just didn't have the right properties, but there, another counter hit. And I think, like, Superfly was like being really aware of the aggression stance and counter hitting that approach, really wanting to slow face down.
try to find which times he's going to use an approach option from aggression shift that will be counter-hittable, that leads to him reversing the ring situation. Right? Using that same option twice where it led to him reversing the ring situation, taking space, and then immediately retorting with taking the round. I really like that. Very smart stuff here. Doesn't really want to give away big ring outs like that, but sometimes, you know, you've got to press in your opponent's offense. You can't just let them press buttons that forever.
Yeah, and then again, we saw earlier with Ghost getting the GI on that fly stance from Setsuka. Like, getting the timing down already is pretty big for this part in the set. I mean, obviously only round 3, all things considered here, but the adjustments we got to come fast and frequent here for Fly. There, though, again, another great, like, zoning tool that we saw 2B kind of use earlier in the matches with Ivy. And honestly, Ghost is doing a good job of, like, doing a lot of zoning and whiff punishing some of that ill-advised small caliber in the neutral.
Yeah, this is a lot more space taking than I expected. Right? A lot of mid-range play and zoning out of a player who's mostly been playing the, oh, really nice counter, mostly been playing the long shift, close range aggression. Now, playing a more compact sidestep and whip punish game that leads to these 2 ring outs that basically steal away that first game. Ghost going up 1-0 so far in the losers finals.
Yeah, and that guy's got to feel bad too for Fly, because you finally get some momentum with those counter hits, you're getting close to getting your resources, and then just one wrong read, the sidestep led to that ring out, and like you said, that was the smallest stage in the game. Kind of deceptively so, because honestly, I thought like the Geralt Fortress stage was the smallest, but yeah, considering how many ring outs were in that last set alone, like there is not a lot of room to move in that at all.
Yeah, not a lot of room to move and no walls to really feel as if the stage is extended. That is one upside to the Geralt stage, is those 2 side walls that are full walls make it feel significantly more full. And then same thing with Indian Fort, there's 2 full walls on the longest length of the stage, and then the shorter links, Yoshi's Island type stuff. But this stage, all walls, still kind of small, not as small as the last stage, but it will give, hopefully, Drew more time to commit to those bigger options, because if you make a wrong read at the wall, you're not immediately dead. Instead, you are now just getting punished with a wall combo.
Alrighty, let's get started then here in game 2. Have to see if Fly can make some of those adjustments. And, oh man, immediately the guard impact after 1 hit. I was wondering if he was going to do it again right there. I would not have been surprised, if I'm being honest.
Oh, trying to use the jump button and immediately getting called out. Right now, it looks like Ghost is changing the pace of the speed he was playing from the last round, this time playing significantly more aggressive. I don't think it's actually working out for him, though. It looked like he had built himself an insurmountable lead, but right now, Drew is starting to bring it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Ghost is kind of playing a little bit more passive here in the second game so far, and Drew is finally making these reads. That's another one. Huge damage coming in here now for Drew, and another wall
and a wall reset as well. Yeah, taking the wall reset, not getting anything off of it, but if he can play this smart here, can get another wall. Side wall, unfortunately, saves lives here, just like Tekken. Gonna be able to get a small punish there, missing the just frame, so not getting a big punish. And reversal of fortune for Ghost, able to take back the wall situation. Again, no punish, just slightly being too late, probably just because, you know, not the most phenomenal netcode, unfortunately.
No, I wonder if that's something that's been consistent for Drew tonight, because there's been so many options there where it has been like the right read, just slightly late. Here now, Drew finally getting those reads and getting the gameplay down in general here, forcing Ghost to kind of play passive. Now finally seeing some aggression coming out here now for Ghost, something that we've been needing to see here for the set. And oh, I don't know if impact counter there was trying to go for a reversal edge there or something, but getting
whatever it was, being totally blown up in this round 3, just a speed run. That was a complete change of momentum from the last 2 rounds. Drew needing to make some adjustments here, immediately getting 2 big counter hits to start. This is why I call her the white woman jump scare.
Yeah, like she's full screen in there, and then as soon as you see her running in, next thing you know, before you even consider pressing a button, you're getting counter hit because you were...
Yeah, he's dead.
White woman jump scare? Yes?
That was a big starter, so I can understand that that just leads to an immediate kill. So there's a lot of situations there where you have to try to check out versus Setsuka and press a button, but if you do, she has a quicker option that still leads to a counter crumple if you're wrong. So a lot of times blocking or trying to attempt a reversal edge are what are going to lead to you being able to be successful versus Setsuka.
Retrieving map data.
Alrighty, go for another stage change here, and it is the ship, I believe, if I'm seeing it right here, which we were saying earlier, some walls there, some ring out opportunities, but generally a little bit more space to move around than the last couple of stages. No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, this is the bell tolls. These are the corner bells that do gong if you hit them, and they're also considered full walls, the only full walls on this entire stage.
Alrighty, and so not as much room to move around, but hey, no ring outs unless you get a really big launch here at least. And again, oh, okay. Ghost going back to kind of like the more zoning playstyle we see here. The trade go in favor of Drew, though, here. Again, white woman jump scares. Another one.
One powerful thing about Setsuka is getting her cornered, but not taking your frames properly will just get you immediately reversed. There we go, just like that. The 6K or immediately using the jump over. These are ways that Setsuka can immediately steal back the corner where some characters can't particularly. That is minus 12, good punish.
You have to play like so clean against Setsuka, because if there's any gap that she can challenge you, a good Setsuka will take it every time, because they just don't want you to have any fun and let you play your game at all, it looks like.
Yeah, you take those gaps, especially with something like a 6K, and you're able to go off to the races. If they can get a big hit here, oh, attempting it again, and that is the... No, unfortunately, dropping the combo that would have won him the round there. Once again, just probably Caliber netcode, but had the right read. So if Drew can keep this together, keep that composure, we'll be able to win this.
Ooh, some more online Soulcalibur there with the trading and kind of just moving all around. The anti-air!
I love that. That's a really good there. And that is a lot of damage on deck and takes the wall here.
That damage adding up.
And now just able to play this long-range game, expecting an approach off of that aggression shift, but instead backing away, giving himself a huge life lead here now. One mix-up, but doesn't want to have to hold it, using this soul charge to potentially close out the round. I like it. Immediately calling out the approach with that aggression shift, the same way he tried to do previous, but that Yomi level 1 sticking to it.
And Superfly has only got like half the crescent left, and then he has all the resources here. But I think Ghost is going to keep the aggression going here. Great counter hit, though. Uh-oh.
Yeah, getting these big counter hits means that he's not allowed to finish off his crescents, but he is able to get big counter hits that lead to giant damage. That is one of the things that Setsuka already does extremely well. So giving it to her for free because you don't want to allow her to have her full repertoire of lethal hits is an option that could lose you the game.
Again, the aggression here from Ghost got her in the corner, rolling out a bit. Yep.
Yeah, that is counter hit plus guts. Wait, maybe it's not counter hit. Doesn't matter. I mean, that should be Okubo back there. Yeah. We need a mod.
Yeah. That's like the one mod we will allow. No costumes, but buff Okubo. We gotta have our buff producer. Oh, again, the 4-4-B. I think, like, Ghost, if he just kind of stays back and zones out, that's kind of the game plan that's working out for them here. That also, again, stopping step again the counter hit.
Yeah, getting I think that was a run counter call out, which means attempted backstep because that was a vertical. Nope. Blocking it, trying to get the punish there, minus 16. I believe that is an I-16, but just slightly too late because of this Caliber netcode.
Does feel bad, man. But hey, okay, Fly does have all the resources here. Again, the side step, but no punish. Again, I think just it's hard to punish in this connection, baby.
You also have to think of the fact that to be there, being airborne with a bar of meter means you could potentially get CE'd for attempting an anti-air punish. So trying to keep it safe, knowing that they have the time lead here and the round lead here with this life. But
oh, there you go.
To just close it out. 2-1 so far for Superflydrew.
Man, that punish probably felt really good after getting so many odd options there throughout those first two rounds. Just sidestepping that gauntlet and then running in and getting that with punish, man. That felt really good from Drew, I bet.
Yeah, one of the things I like to say, especially in traditional netcode for Soulcalibur, is any punish is better than no punish. So when you're in those frame tight situations where you want your I-16 and they're exactly minus 16, but it would be a big lethal hit, sometimes it's okay to just take the I-14. Sometimes it's fine to just take the I-12, do your AA, do your BB, get the frames, and run it from there because it's better than getting no damage at all, you know, because of the netcode.
Exactly, because then that also leads to opportunities where you throw out something that you think could punish it, gets blocked. Well, now there's a punish coming your way, which means that was an opportunity where you could have just done something safe and taken the round, and now you're getting blown up and losing the round. But okay, 2-1 now here for Drew. Guard impacts coming in again here. We're seeing like a good number of those.
Yeah, one of the most beautiful mechanics in Soulcalibur, right? It really forces players to think about their offense critically every time they take it, because you could instantly, just like he tried to auto GI there, you can always get GI'd on offense, right? There's no frames, I think, or there's very few frames in this game because of the way the number system is structured. Most things are even numbered where you can't get GI'd. Unless you're side turned or back turned and you have to turn around, then you actually have to hold mix-ups.
Yep, just like there too, the timing was just slightly off that GI, and saw 2B trying to go into her flight stance earlier in that last round, but a good knee to the gut's going to stop all that anime BS that they like to use. Again, Fly getting these timings down here for the aggression stance.
That won't kill, but it will lead to the ring edge here. Trying to just roll around, doesn't want to stay on the ground. But does at least reverse the fortunes, getting close to getting off the ring edge if he can sidestep around. Right now, it looks like Ghost is the one who's taking the sidesteps to try to keep Drew near the corner. Basically, corralled the movement there and forced out options from Drew, where instead of fighting back off the wall, tried to walk off.
This timing the throw there, just, yep, slightly early. The lows get her on the ground there now. Again, like, Drew's playing good defense. It's just a lot of this offense is just adding up to the mental stack.
Yeah, trying to nickel and dime a character who does this much damage is really hard, right? You have to make your bigger reads bigger to make sure you're keeping at damage disparity with a character like 2B, who's most often getting giant chunks of damage anytime they hit you. I don't think that's going to hit, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, that is one of the downsides of trying to whip punish her in the air. And just wastes away a bar of meter. Maybe able to build it back here off of this reverse ledge and see what the option's going to be. Going under with the forward, beating the A reverse ledge timing, and immediately using CE to close out this round. I respect it. Has one more bar to play with here. Drew will go close to 2, but this could be a 2-2 situation if Ghost can close out this fourth game of the set.
That was so clean. Like, we saw, I think, Incendiate do that exact same thing on the RE earlier. And then Ghost must have saw that as like, oh, I want to do that too. Let me just do that real quick.
Sick. Let me try it.
Yeah. Oh boy, this damage adding up really early here now for Ghost. Okay, RE again. Is he gonna do it again? BD.
This time going for B, using the sidestep out instead. Another one of the movement options. Instead of pressing 6, pressing 2 or 4 and getting a sidestep that will not kill because it's not back turn bonus damage, but it is very close. You are one mix-up away. Are we gonna see the 6-6K? We do. But the reversal from Drew.
I was going to say, he's probably just going to run and do it again, and there it is. Okay, we're tied up 2-2 now. And man, this, we were saying earlier, this aggression's adding up here for Ghost, or, yeah, for Ghost, and Drew's kind of a hard time kind of adjusting, getting those timings down, getting those counter hits.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Yeah, that is definitely the kind of position where you have to be able to take back momentum now, right? After losing on reverse ledge twice in 2 different ways, not being obvious, but maybe going for something Yomi level 1. This is a situation where being defensive might be the play, being less aggressive, kind of slowing down the pace and forcing options out of your opponent, especially a character like 2B who has a lot of whiff punishable options if you can make them whiff, right? So playing right outside of her best ranges might be the move here. I think Setsa can do it, but I don't know if Drew is ready to do it, right? Might want to play this more aggressive game plan. It's gotten them this far so far in the losers finals. 2-2 final game for these competitors. One of them is going home. One of them will be moving back to fighting Incendiate.
Ooh, good Raul rising there to punish that whiffed high, but dropping the combo again. Man, this online Soulcalibur 2, I think, has also just been a huge detriment to Superfly, but not dropping it there.
East Coast. So this is an East Coast player versus, I don't know where Ghost is from.
Good question. I'll have to figure that out. Like CT, that's like Connecticut, ain't it?
Oh, they're both East Coast. Okay, so it's East Coast, East Coast.
Okay, oh, while rising there again, hitting her out of the air with a BB.
Oh, trying to call it out. There we go. Finally getting that auto GI and then immediately getting a big lethal hit here, knowing that Ghost has been trying to check out a lot with some of the jumping options. Hasn't worked out for him thus far, getting 2 big lethal hits off of that.
Ooh, nice side step 3B there. Getting a lot of combo damage. Too far away to punish the gauntlet, though. And man, Ghost is right up against the wall here. Really dangerous situation to be in.
I Like the throw break there, good throw, better break. The back escape, doesn't want to have to deal with it, but this could just lead to a kill off of the CE because of the crumple. Good stuff from Ghost, bringing it to a 1-1. Gotta play it slow, gotta play it safe. I like the spin meter to immediately close it out. You will be able to build more back. One of my sayings, I say it a lot, and I want to make it known. Players, spin the cash, get that ass. Use the meter, it's worth winning the round.
Look, man, I can't have my steak without the butter, so I gotta use that butter.
Yeah, you gotta use but you want the steak? You want the meat? Use the butter.
All right, and good crumpled there as well. Rising cage, slow down.
Not only slowing it down, getting a big knockdown there. Could have potentially tried to walk off the wall here, but wanted to fight it out now in a situation where they have all of their options available. Every single one of those crescents is full. Scary stuff.
The GI.
Out. I knew it. You could feel it coming. That's one of those situations where you just feel that Ghost wants to try to immediately close it out with something big like the GI into the immediate A+B. Doesn't work out. Drew calls it out. Feeling psychic for the first time in the set. That must feel good.
Yeah, and again, going back to the zoning now here, trying to slow it down. Oh, yeah, and the gas wrong there. That's a little too close for comfort. But the duck on the throw there, kind of a drop combo, but Drew still having the advantage here, range 0. There it is. Now pushing Ghost back up to the wall here. Just a BB string to get out of it.
Oh, trying to use the throw. Good throw, better break. Another back escape.
Oh, okay, well, immediate crouch, getting underneath the high for the whiff punish, and now to be in guts here.
Trying to go for it, not getting it, maybe be able to get a whip punish here, immediately using the CE. I love it, taking the smartest and the safest way to get the whip punish, not trying anything fancy, and closing out the game, securing himself at least second place, making it back to the grand finals on the loser side. Phenomenal stuff from Ghost. I really liked the speed of play, and I liked how frenetic he was in his approaches, trying his best to keep every approach as unreadable as possible. There was a lot of situations where Drew just didn't know what to do, and it started to come back on him, but right there in that final game, you could see the clutchness of both players on display, and Drew was able to take it.
Yeah, I gotta stick with the game plan. If it works, it works. Sometimes they have to change up a little bit, but generally keep the same general approach. And like you said, Drew was able to make that work just enough here to get through Ghost's defense. And hey, credit to Ghost now. They also have the Xtreme Boss title, so at the very least, if they wanted to win, they at least have the title now. They do get the XFS points, and now they can come back next time.
A big bag of points, not as big as first and second place. These two are fighting for that lion's share, and potentially, if someone can win 6 straight, they're going to be going somewhere cool with those points. But all of our competitors played phenomenal tonight, and I am glad to see that now we will be seeing a run back from the winners finals earlier for our grand finals once again. Incendiate versus Superflydrew.
Indeed, and you're going to have to make that adjustment here fast, Drew, because Incendiate plays a much different game than what we just saw here from Ghost. Obviously, that IV, different game plan, different style of character entirely. But before we get into that, we want to give one last quick shout out here for our members in the chat. We do still have some Matcherino codes, and this is the last match of the night. If you folks want to get in on that and communicate and contribute to the community here tonight one last time, go redeem those codes. Exclamation point Matcherino in chat will take you to the site. If you haven't claimed one already, go do it now. We got 20 codes left. There are 47 people in the chat that I can see. Let's get those codes claimed.
This is free money for the competitors. All it requires is you logging in with one of the many socials you're already using, including twitch.tv. So if you want to support the bracket and support these amazing tournaments, that's all you have to do is drop one of those codes in. We are going into our grand finals still on the Geralt, not switching characters just yet. We could see one of the other characters come out if Drew makes some major adjustments versus the Geralt, but it really felt as if he had a game plan going well for him. I didn't expect to see 2B though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe wanting to just go full aggression here and use some of those really busted zoning tools to when he tries to slow it down, because Incendiate has done that a lot. But I mean, Geralt is a character where you can just literally play any style pretty optimally if you really want to. 2B's got to really fish for those zoning tools. But we'll have to see here. Maybe he knows something that we don't.
Ooh, I like the jumping attack there. Still getting punished by the BB. The small punishes here. I love that he's trying not to punish anything too big. Instead, using BB, AA, and the 2As just to try to keep everything small. Not allowing 2B to get her major offense started.
Again,
This has been small caliber the entire round.
It has, and it's working out for
And the 3B will get the counter hit. It looks like Incendiate was attempting to be a little impatient there, trying to get some of that life back on the board. But right now, it looks like Superflydrew has something going that Incendiate's going to have to adjust to.
He's got to rely on that jump stance a little bit to get through some of the more fundamental tools that Incendiate's trying to use. Here now, though, finally getting a read in there. The bullying continues now for Incendiate. Good punish on the gauntlets again. I think might be relying on that a little too much.
This is a scary spot. Already has a bar of meter on deck, but doesn't want to spend it here. Just trying to close it out naturally. There's 1-2K or 1-1K and ducking under the high immediately, retorting with a raw rising B into a full sequence of overkill. I love that.
Oh, hey, it's a mental game, you know? Sometimes if you get your opponent to play a little aggressive, then you get more opportunities to punish. There, the aggression stance getting interrupted by just a 2B there. Not that 2B, I'm talking about Girls 2B.
It is. I'm never expecting to see the 6-6A kill there. Wow, that was interesting. 6-6A into the K as an option to potentially try to ring out. Not something you see too often. A student of the game here, Incendiate, knowing some of the more unorthodox angles to get ring outs on Desert Stage.
Look at this movement from Incendiate, man. He is just moving right now.
And I think that the reason why you do this is because for the most part, you don't think of 2B as a very corralling character. Her more oppressive horizontals aren't particularly fast, so you can box step and sidestep block a lot versus her.
Again, the 2B to get 2B out of the air, and then just some good old-fashioned real craps.
Yeah, meaty throw on the wake up. Gonna have to call them out on that one. And will there be a character swap, or will we see a second round on 2B? Superflydrew does have deep pockets, right? Both of these players are known for playing multiple characters. I think of Setsuka as a main for Superflydrew, but we could see a couple other characters immediately going right onto it, not trying to throw any more games, saying, you know what, if I'm going to fight it, I'm going to give it my all. We're seeing power level over 9,000.
What's the scouter say?
I'm not shouting that.
Okay, well, I won't either then. But regardless, yeah, I think kind of going back with the Setsuka is probably the best move, honestly. Just because, I mean, it worked out for like a round or two with the 2B, kind of a change of game plan from the player. But like once Incendiate kind of figures that out, you got to go back to what you know the best, I think. Just kind of made the connection too.
I love the AAAs consistently, right? Both of them always finishing the AAA, or at least Incendiate's been doing it this set so far, because you don't expect someone to finish it, and it leads to counter hit knockdown. That's actually really good.
Yeah, another thing too here, I think Superflydrew is a little bit more confident with the small caliber from Setsuka, which I think needs to start happening a little bit more here. Right now, though, Incendiate just zoning him out here.
Playing a phenomenal zoning game. Two 6-6Bs in a row. The first one to catch a step, the second one to catch a call-out timing. Amazing stuff so far, Mississippi. The call-out timing on GI, for the love of God, he is in this man's head. Let's hope Drew can change his headspace to get Incendiate out.
Can you say psychological warfare? Because we're seeing a masterclass of that right now. Finally getting a counter hit.
Teabag mid-combo. I gotta get him out of my head. I gotta teabag this guy mid-combo.
Shout outs to regular Zach here with the Matcherino
$15 donation contribution. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, it's Soulcalibur's 7th anniversary. I can't think of a better time to do it. Okay, hey, look at that. He gave Superfly the power here to get some Soulcalibur going. Another AA catching the run counter. Full stocks already round two. There you go.
$15 and said, hold up, that's actually my DoorDash for tonight. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah. I can get so much Taco Bell with this, man. I gotta get DoorDash with it too. What's not to love? I gotta start sweating here.
Ooh, the reversal edge, able to beat the airborne options. All three that aren't the break attack will lose to that reversal edge there. None of them are reversal edge safe. You only get the E here, but it is something. Immediately pushing towards the ring edge, getting a giant chunk of damage. And I believe Geralt gets Oki off of his super. There it is. Immediately using the second bar of meter as well. This man is not playing around. He saw that $15 and thought, this is a new controller for Granblue. I keep breaking mine.
He's just like, you get one round, and then we're gonna really test you, brother.
Oh, trying to 2K out, but using the sidestep, I like that. Oh, immediately using that GI to attempt to beat a fast option, but something slow coming out of Incendiate there. Has to force out a soul charge here.
Yeah, I think he can.
Towards the wall.
He's able to slow it down, but he's just like not able to get much else after it here. And again, Incendiate just kind of taking advantage of it to go back to the zoning game. Finally, some small caliber. That's in favor of Drew. Just gotta find that hit.
Yeah, the scary part about Soulcalibur versus Geralt, if you're playing that too consistently, he does have that parry. And right now, that parry would lead to a full combo that will kill you. You have to watch out for that 4 HP.
Getting the box stepping on point.
Oh,
big
he immediately uses some of that meter though. So if he doesn't close this out, that's actually meter disparity for him. Another piece of meter used, but the call out immediately with the 6-6 AK. Phenomenal stuff there, right at tip range.
And just like that, it's 2-0 Incendiate. Just one more to do it and get those 300 points of XSS, man. I tell you what, Incendiate, like we were saying earlier, it's mental warfare. Incendiate is fully living rent-free in Superflydrew's head right now, if you ask me.
This is a tough but close game. I do like that most of the rounds are coming down to the wire, even if the rounds aren't showing. Each individual health bar gets extremely low. So the fight being put up here is still phenomenal. These are top of the line American players showing their mettle.
All right, let's get it on here. We haven't seen this stage just yet tonight here, so I'm gonna
this is
have
my
to kind
favorite
of see.
stage. I love this. Ooh, phenomenal whip punish from Incendiate there, but the immediate tech from Superflydrew not wanting to hold any potential offense. Another Yukimi immediately, but these 6-6 As have been doing phenomenal work for Incendiate so far. Sidestepping around, trying to bait something out of Drew, but did not go fish.
Man, another sidestep punish there again for Incendiate. One more read with the Rising B.
This guy's timings are insane today. He is 100% on fire. No jokes of Geralt needed.
No Jerry, the River jokes to be
punish.
made. Oh,
And
again.
phenomenal whip punish. Calling out the
Can't
side
move.
step. Yeah, doesn't want to let him off the ring edge, but rolling around so that he doesn't have to deal with any potential Oki here. I respect it, taking that small amount of health to get back to center stage to really fight Incendiate in his own game, but there is so much life to chew through here. And there is the wall standing B again. You know, I like the wall standing B there because most of the time he's been closing it out with 1K and 2K. Drew finally read it for ducking and getting immediately hit with a mid there. Unfortunate situation.
Now we're on tournament point here. Fly having to use that bar just to try to get something going. Gets the low there, but oh, you gotta close it out.
Going for the break, I like that. Immediately respecting the back throw, going back towards center stage. Does not want to hold any pressure into the ring edge here.
Another good RE here again from Incendiate. Again, slowing down. Like, he's in complete control of the pace of the game at this point.
And playing extremely fast too. Now that aggression has started to come on the opposite foot. No longer playing that small caliber game. Trying to just close it out here with bigger buttons, some evasive ones, and this could be one more whiff punish into
the resist impact.
And there is that parry we were talking about. That is exactly the situation he wanted. Forcing him into a small caliber back and forth turn-taking game just for that 4A plus B to be able to close it out. And Incendiate will be your first episode season 1 Xtreme Fighters Showdown Soulcalibur VI champion.
Like that last set, just all the reads, all the psychological warfare. Incendiate was just seeing everything that he wanted to do and just not letting him play the game, for lack of a better word. Like, just it looked really dominant, even though it was close, like you said, Beanie. It was really hard to get anything started for Drew with that set there, because it was just a constant zone-out game.
But either way, we saw phenomenal matches from our entire top 8 and all of our players tonight. If we could take a look at that bracket and congratulate all of top 8 for making it as far as they did. We have in first place Incendiate, second place Superflydrew, third place Ghost, fourth place Toothcake, tied for 5th. We have Yorha and Infectious, and tied for 7th, we have Sozo Lion and Grolix. An amazing showcase of players all fighting it out on the first episode of XFS Showdown that happened to land on the 7th birthday of Soulcalibur VI, my favorite fighting game of all time. Don't forget, if you're here watching, you could be in these brackets. If you are a fan of Soulcalibur, all you have to do is be ready for the next one coming up. And do you know when that is, by any chance, Mr. Brickman?
Yep, it's actually going to be another month from now, so it's every third Saturday of the month for our game for Soulcalibur 6. As you can see here, like next week, we got Dead or Alive 6 here for episode 1 for that as well. They're just getting started. Tekken 8 will be the first Saturday, November 1st, November 8th. And as you can see there again, episode 2, we just started it here this month, man. Everything has been going awesome for this entire season right now. We can look at the top competitors again here. Those top 8 winners that we saw, they all earn an amount of points here, if we can bring that up as well here too, that add up and carry over to the next bracket as well here. And again, here we go, right there, Soulcalibur 6, November 15th, for all you beautiful people in the chat here. That's going to be the next time that this happens here. If you want to get in on some awesome Soulcalibur action, because this game is awesome, go ahead and get ready to sign up for that. You got a month to prepare, start getting that grind going, and then you too can earn these points here to use for the season. And Beanie, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to it next time.
Oh yeah, these were phenomenal matches that we've seen, and boom, there we go, the points placement for everyone who played today, getting at least 1 point, the little pity point just for playing. But everyone else that made the top 8 gets 20, 50, 70, 100, 175, and 300 respectively. The lion's share of the points that they'll be able to spend at the end of the season for all of the phenomenal rewards we just saw on the last slide. I am excited for the full season and every game to come from XFS this season so far.
Indeed, and again, not only do you get those points, you also get the lion's share of the winning pot, and congratulations to Incendiate for winning that. Again, folks, I think if you want to, there's still some time. We do have a couple of codes left. If you want to redeem those, it is !Matcherino. We do still have a couple of codes. Go ahead and claim those if you haven't already. Just make it that much better. Like, we're already at 72, 75. Let's make that 73, I think. It sounds like a pretty cool number. As long as it's not
big
like...
shout out to anyone who used the code or put their own direct contribution into the pot. Shout outs to regular Zach and all of the names you see there who used the coupon code so far.
Absolutely. Like, I think... Dude, I'm looking forward to this. I want, like, the next day's tournament, like, or I guess I should say next month's tournament to be, like, next weekend. Like, I want to get right back into this.
Yeah, it'd be sick to just immediately see it. Not to say that, you know, Dead or Alive doesn't deserve its week or anything, but, you know, if we could see some more Soulcalibur 6, I always loved it.
Indeed, yeah. Like, so Dead or Alive is going to be a good time regardless, but, I mean, we just need more good Soulcalibur in our lives. Everybody, I think, needs to play Soulcalibur.
And if you're ready for it, there'll be more here for you November 15th, the 3rd week of November. I think that's where we close it out here. So is there anything else you would like to say before we move on?
I don't have anything other than some socials, I guess. You can kind of see my, see if I'm pointing the right direction. There it is. That's my Twitter right there, @manbrick on Twitter. I don't have anything else really to promote other than if you like pro wrestling and fighting games, hey, come talk to me, I guess. Beanie, what about you? What do you got for us, buddy?
I stream a lot. I'm a big time small Twitch streamer. Go ahead and shoot me a follow on Twitch. All I do is play Marvel Rivals. I can't get enough of that game. I have a problem.
Who do you main? That's the real question.
Jeff Landshark.
Okay. I'm not going to judge. I don't play the game.
Like eating
so
people.
There you go. Just a hungry boy. But yeah. Alrighty, I think that's all for us tonight. Again, we'll give a quick shout out to our amazing TO here before we forget, Mia. Give her a round of applause, and I mean, if you don't, she's probably just gonna belt you anyway. So I recommend just doing that, you know, for your safety. But she's been the reason why we've been able to get all of these runs so smoothly. And I mean, other than that, I don't have anything else. We're ready to sign off for the night here. I think Cheeto even wants to say goodbye to everybody here. So, again, like, folks, we've had a great night tonight. Hopefully see you all back. Beanie, anything else you want to add?
Soulcalibur 6 is sick. Regardless of the netcode, regardless of the lack of support, if you like a fighting game, any fighting game, it doesn't matter if a community considers it dead, hop on, get some games in, find some cool people, and play it. Even the same thing for any other video game that people think is dead, a shooting game, a card game. Just enjoy the hobbies that you enjoy and stick around for them because having hobbies is beautiful.
Indeed. Alrighty, folks. Thanks again for showing up tonight. We'll see you all next time.
Oh, she didn't shill Fate's Crossing. Oh no!
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, we should do that here, I guess. If we can get to the slide here, Fate's Crossing, Fate's Crossing.
Yeah, that is a big event coming up for Soulcalibur in the Pacific Northwest. Wait a minute, we should talk about that.
I still needed to go to a regional like this for a game for Soulcalibur, man, because I feel like I'm missing out on so many like awesome people to hang out with and like learn the game with and play offline Soulcalibur. Like just missing out on the opportunity to play offline Soulcalibur is in of itself a terrible thing. I think this is it right here, ain't it? Or
I think we're getting close. We're still shouting out some of the other tournaments and affiliated sponsors like Dear Army Esports before closing it out for the night. Kind of forgot to do that. Oopsies. But we should have one more major thing to talk about specifically for Soulcalibur. Of course, you can check us out all the time on WNF, Wednesday Night Fights. They do that every week. So keeping the Soulcalibur scene alive in another online bracket as well. And then coming up here soon, TNS Online as well, Soulcalibur VI, the first one being November 9th. And there it is, Fate's Crossing in Portland, 2026, a $3,500 pot bonus.
sheesh.
January 10th, a huge amount of money, 64 players. And there is the QR code to register.
Y'all gotta show up for that, man. That sounds like it's gonna be a hell of a time.
That is a lot of money to fight for what people consider, quote, a dead game, unquote.
Dead game, my ass. Sure, whatever. But man, I'm so happy that we still got stuff going on like that. Because I mean, just like look how many people showed up tonight for Soulcalibur, a dead game, man. There's still so many people whose souls are burning. I tell you what.
And keep those souls burning. And if you have a burning desire to travel on down to Portland, Oregon for your lion's share of $3,500. If you think you can take out a man like Incendiate or Superflydrew, because they might be going.
Alrighty, and again, like a quick shout out here as well, here to Laura Xavier. If you want to play some Soulcalibur, give him a ring. He does play my girl Hilda. I might have to actually ring him up here and help me like get good at the game again here. But other than that, we have Frosty Faustings coming up here as well. If you can't, for whatever reason, make it to the Crossing of Fate. Yeah, you do have Frosty Faustings to look forward to as well here, man. Like, so many tournaments going on in January. I kind of forget about them.
There's so many tournaments going on all the time. That is the beauty of the fighting game community.
All right, I think with that, look at the next slide here. Texas Showdown, Nalbini, that's something that you know about.
Yes, Texas Showdown, my favorite offline, only because it's so close to me.
I can't say the same, unfortunately. I live in the Midwest where we have nothing but corn and grass, and that's about it.
That's crazy.
We have cotton and corn. We're close. A lot of cotton fields over here.
That's kind of crazy.
Only if you make it. It's only racist if you make it racist.
I didn't say it was racist. You said it was racist. That was crazy.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. That's all I
Wait,
got.
I'm the only white man in this voice call. I won't do it.
I was gonna say that, and then I figured maybe it's a good idea if I don't. So thank you for saying that for me. I wasn't gonna get myself canceled on stream.
Brickman, you're undercover racist. I can't believe it. See me in my office after this. This is insane. Oh, but guys, one last thing is tomorrow. Wait.
Oh no.
Hopefully, tomorrow Mia needs to take a long nap and then recover from this. Is what she needs to do.
I'm sorry. Yeah, take a long nap. I was just gonna say, shout out tomorrow night, Dr. Psycho's Insane Asylum. I'm trying to get back to it. They actually moved tournament. Wait.
Oh, so it's actually a tournament. I thought it was like a...
Yeah, Dr. Psycho's Insane Asylum is a tournament that also runs for Soulcalibur VI.
Oh.
And I thought it was PlayStation only, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe it's PC, and it is very closely affiliated because a lot of the people that run those, we also know them. Here it is, right here. Yeah, run by Coat of Arms, COA.
Okay, I thought it was like a haunted house exhibit in the local area. That's
Dr. Psycho is actually one of the better Zasalmo players on PlayStation, and he runs a tournament series to keep the community alive on one of the platforms that has long since been abandoned by another part of the community. So we got to keep everything going. Maybe one day someone will start up an Xbox series bracket or an Xbox tournament series. That'd be neat.
Okay, that we're not supporting Xbox. That was crazy. Imagine.
was gonna say. That's where I started playing too on Xbox One before I got a PC. But dang, yeah, they really don't deserve us if I'm being honest.
Insane. But yes, I'm sorry guys. Now it's officially over. I just had to make sure we shout out all the Caliber people. Yeah, Xavier, no Xbox, imagine. But I'm getting off the mic before I start coughing in y'all's ear again. Thanks to our commentators, Beanie and Brickman. Y'all are amazing. Yes, I will take a nap tomorrow, officially. Now I can. It's over. But yeah, we're gonna raid over to whoever's streaming Caliber right now. So yeah, you guys stay tuned next month, and we will be back with more Caliber. Yay!